every... What day is it?
Tuesday?
Tuesday night! His ghost returns to wreak his horrible vengeance.
Oh, but tonight's Tuesday night!
Then he'll be coming.
Fade in.
In an age where most movies are referred to as content, I would say that 99% of most movies are pretty bad.
Sometimes it's an actor who comes in. Other times it's a relationship that, as it's written, doesn't quite work, and things that you think are going to just, be so well received, just crash and burn.
We're making a new Star Wars movie, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together. And the fact that that moment, we will never be able to have that moment in cinema when Carrie Fisher was alive, that to me is, that's malpractice.
We had some ideas, but we hadn't worked through them enough. We had sometimes we had some ideas, but then we weren't allowed to do them the way we wanted to.
What could possibly go wrong?
Unfortunately, we live in a time, back in the day when Star Wars was first made, I feel like they were checking one box, and it was called fun. And now there's a million boxes that must be checked. There are all sorts of noting and committees and this thing, and this is where you end up with, that last Star Wars movie by J.J. Abrams is unwatchable. It's garbage.
Begin the thing, I've had, and I do think that, there's ideas.
And I think that whether Hollywood notices it or not, I think that people don't really like politics woven into fairly mainstream, which should be mainstream entertainment experiences. And I think we're seeing that more and more. It's unbelievable to me. You have no excuse. Your job is to entertain me, not lecture me, not lecture me. Your job is to entertain me.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is where we are. And sometimes when it's not working out, it's because it's what you planned. And other times when it's not working out, it's because it didn't. It's like you never really know. But having a plan, I have learned in some cases the hard way, is the most, critical thing, because otherwise you don't know what you're setting up. You don't know what you're, what to emphasize, because if you don't know the inevitable of the story, you're just as good as your last, sequence or effect or joke or whatever, but you want to be leading to something inevitable.
I like to be an optimist. So I don't know that 99% of the studio movies are bad. Maybe it's more like 97.
Oh my God.
We're the fun suckers now.
Green lights, baby. Let's go.
Say, kids, what time is that?
Tonight's Tuesday night!
Tuesday night. Yeah, where did these Tuesday nights come from?
I don't know, but they happen awfully quick.
Oh my God, don't they? Welcome
Seems
to
like we're doing this last week.
It does feel like it's been about a week, doesn't it?
It does.
Welcome to another Tuesday Night Mayhem, where the panel and I curate the week's news into bite-sized chunks for you to digest, and we give our little commentary on them. So let's introduce our audience to our panel. I'll start below me, returning for the second week in a row, the 60th that there is on the interwebs. Six, how are you?
I am doing okay. How are you doing?
I've been better, but we will get through this together.
We're going to get through this together.
Oh, I'm going to throw something at my screen.
I got rocked with a migraine yesterday, and I've got lingering effects. It's just not pretty. Let's go over here. Wait, there. This guy, Captain America hat. Edson Gomes, another six. You know what? Slow news week. Why don't we get the battle of the sixes? Let's get some controversy going here.
Battle of the sixes. I love it.
Let's go, Edson. Time to throw down.
He wins. I copied her.
Let's have a dance off.
You've been served,
Yeah,
Edson.
Star-Lord. That was dance off. Oh man, I was having one of the worst days. Well, the worst day probably. And then I saw a notification that Az was doing a review on Batwoman's episode 16, and I'm like, oh, it just turned into a great day. And I tuned right in, and right in the middle of his review, you hear this horn, like not a normal car horn, just some horn. And I thought it was part of the review. And he's like, "Oh, there's the ice cream man. Nope, I'm not giving in this time. You're not going to get me this time." It's like right. He just throws everything in at the same time. It's so amazing how he does that.
Edson is not a paid endorser for Heel versus Babyface. He just
no. I wish I was. I just enjoy it.
Below Edson is Spoiler Pete Pedro.
Hello.
Our stalwart wise ass. Can we call you that?
Yes. Sure, why not? Call me whatever you want. I really don't care.
What's shaking, Pedro?
I'm good.
Excellent.
I'm good.
Pete, why are you Spoiler Pete?
I had to think about it.
Stacy gave me that nickname, usually referring to stuff about Godzilla versus Kong, and it kind of stuck. I think it has a good ring to it.
Pete kept threatening to drop spoilers because he knew you had the script or something, right?
I didn't have the script, but I definitely wasn't afraid of trying to figure out who won, because if it went the other way, I would have been really upset. I'd wanted to go in there not being upset.
So there you have it, if that made any sense to anybody.
A little bit.
Now, 6, your role as a mod has not been replaced by a bot. What that is thank you, Fat Steven, because he showed me how to get that thing running so I can get alerts, because I'm always missing them.
Oh.
Like last week when I must thank Diego. Diego, thank you for the tip, and I sent you an email, and I hope you read it. It's because I wasn't getting these notifications, and I didn't see it until it was too late. So now it'll tell me.
So if somebody sends you a tip, that it will pop up automatically.
It'll pop up in the chat, correct?
And what name is going to pop up under that?
Whatever name they entered when they did it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what'll happen. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
We always start the show with the news of the weird.
Yes.
The news of the weird. Who put this in here? Was it you, Edson?
Yeah. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, I gotta.
Oh, wait a second. That's weird. Hang on.
Well, that's appropriate then.
Boomerang. Hang on.
Oh.
I don't know how that got out of order. Okay.
I'm like,
now we're good.
Is this a modern day Jonah?
Flag on the play. False start. Here we go. Okay. Lobster diver survived after being swallowed alive by a humpback whale.
Yep.
In an extremely rare encounter. Now,
okay,
this happened to me twice, so I can.
You were swallowed
by a humpback whale.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm making that up.
Were you? No.
No. Humpbacked people? Little Star Trek 4 for you watching out there. Star Trek 4, yep. The Voyage Home.
Gracie is pregnant.
Yeah. Going for a swim, are you, Captain? Off the deep end, Mr. Scott. A man was diving for lobster Friday when he says he was swallowed by a humpback whale. Said he was inside the mammal for 30 to 40 seconds before it spit him out, leaving him with bruises. Whales are not aggressive, and such incidents are rare, experts said. It was probably an accident. Well, I'm guessing that.
Yes, it was.
I mean, the way whales feed is they just kind of open their maw and
yeah,
he just happened to be there.
Right. So all I'm thinking about is that scene in Pinocchio. There is that sperm whale.
Yeah.
You said sperm whale. A man trying to catch a lobster Friday morning was caught himself by a humpback whale when it swallowed him whole in a highly unusual encounter. Michael Packard said he was out diving for lobsters off Herring Cove Beach in Provincetown, Mass, when he suddenly found himself inside a whale.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I felt this huge shove, and the next thing I knew, it was completely black. Packard, a longtime lobster diver, told the Cape Cod Times, "I could sense I was moving, and I could feel the whale squeezing with the muscles in his mouth." Gotta be weird, man. He told the newspaper he realized he'd been swallowed after first thinking he was inside a great white shark, but then noticed he did not have any apparent wounds. He estimated he was inside the mammal for 30 to 40 seconds. Packard said he was thinking, "There's no way I'm getting out of here. I'm done. I'm dead," and of his family. Then all of a sudden, the whale went up to the surface and just erupted and started shaking his head. "I just got thrown in the air and landed in the water," Packard told CBS affiliate WBZ. "I was free and I just floated there. I couldn't believe I'm here to tell it."
That's what
awesome.
What an amazing experience. Holy.
Yeah.
They should
I wish it was on video.
I know.
Yeah, picture it didn't happen.
Exactly.
This is why you got to wear a GoPro everywhere you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is. I wonder if they're going to try to do something like this now for like the Discovery Channel. They're going to be like eaten by a whale. Like they're going to try to recreate this, right?
Modern day Jonah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's what
I have to be the wet blanket on the headline. He wasn't actually swallowed because the esophagus of a whale is not big enough for a human to
That's true.
pass through. He was just in the mouth.
Just trapped in the mouth. Yep.
So probably when he said the whale went to the surface and started flinging his head around, it probably was choking on him.
Yeah, it was.
It knew there was an obstruction, and he had to like we would try to get it out, right?
Yep.
That's cray.
Just
that is so awesome.
Damn. Imagine feeling when you're in there. Jeez.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody want to go for a swim?
And then he went, next day he went back to lobster again. Back to his living.
You know, he should be careful though, because there's been a crazy migration of great white sharks up this way in the last decade or so.
Yep.
Like they were so rare, and now they're every summer you get they're shutting down all the beaches at Cape Cod, and there's just a lot of great whites around here. So yeah. By the way, do I not have the squeakiest damn chair?
You do.
I have a squeaky chair too. So if you hear squeak, it might be Keith, and it might be. Can you do that again, Keith?
I think it needs a drop of Earl. I'm being silly. Bummer news.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just heard about this.
Yeah, I saw this Sunday night. Ned Beatty, Oscar-nominated star of Network. That Network, he's in basically one scene, and it's one of the greatest scenes of all time. I don't know if you've seen the movie Network, but it's
no, I have not.
No.
Yes, you have, Pete.
I have.
You have?
I have? Question mark.
Oh, I thought you have.
Wow.
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, you have to watch it. All right, I'm doing my end of the show recommendation right
now.
You have to watch Network. It was written by Patty Chayefsky in 1976, and it more than applies to everything going on now. It's incredible how what's the word I'm looking for? Prescient the script is. So there's this scene with Ned Beatty. He just goes off on the character Howard Beale.
Okay.
Howard Beale decides one day he walks in to do his nightly news show, and he just I've had it with all of it, and he threatens to commit suicide on the air. And he just turns himself into this mad prophet, and he just starts telling the truth about the way government and corporations and all this stuff works. And they start using him for ratings because he's nuts, right? But Ned Beatty plays the network executive, and the scene is great. And the greatest line is something along the lines of, "You talk about the world as if it's borders and countries and governments. The borders, countries, and governments are Exxon and AT&T," and he just goes off about how corporations run the world. Yeah, and this was 1976.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he got nominated for an Oscar for one scene. So, and of course, Deliverance.
Yeah.
You got a purty mouth.
Let's not forget Captain America.
For a minute, I'm like, he was in Captain America?
Oh yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Not the Chris Evans Captain America, but the oh dear, the one from the 90s.
He sure was Purdy Con guy. Otisberg.
Sorry,
Mr. Luthor. Mr. Luthor.
I felt badly for him in that movie. He was such a dumb, taken advantage of guy.
He was the plucky comic relief.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actor. And I think, Pete, to your point, that horrible, if you guys haven't seen it in the audience, do yourself a favor, rent the 1990 Captain America starring Matt Salinger and Ned Beatty. But the thing is, you need Spoiler Pete to do running commentary for you.
Yeah, because when Keith saw it for the first time, I nearly killed him. And I'm not exaggerating.
I stopped breathing for I don't know how long. I was laughing so hard.
Zach, you're absolutely right.
What'd he say?
I think Cap stole his car in that movie. Yes, you are absolutely right.
Twice, not once, but twice.
Yeah, not once, but twice. Can you pull over? I think I'm gonna be sick. He pulls that gag twice and it works.
Wow.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
It's so bad. If you can find it, I don't know where you would find it on streaming, but if you can find it, do yourself a huge favor and find Captain America from 1991, I think.
90 or 91, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something else. So, yeah, I mean, Deliverance right on down. I mean, that's right.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. He was the evil teddy bear. Yeah. So,
Lotso?
Rest in peace.
Yes, he was.
He was awesome. He was awesome. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny because you never heard any controversy around this guy either. Like
That's true. I'm just thinking about that. Like,
he was just a solid actor. He never mailed it in, even in the shittiest of movies, Captain America 1990. He doesn't mail it in, you know. And he kept his nose clean the whole time. So, bravo. And that's it. We're done. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty depressing.
Hit that like button.
Nothing else happened.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has now thrown his hat in the anti-cancel culture ring. I'm glad to hear it.
Good.
Kevin Hart wonders why we're supposed to be perfect now. So, and Kevin Hart. Oh, what the? You know, how did that happen?
Computers are time-saving machines. Imagine how difficult this would have to be if we did it the old-fashioned way.
Why? I'd be showing you a newspaper right now.
Yeah. News what now?
Well, Pete, back in the olden days. Oh, by the way, speaking of newspapers, and I was lucky. I already saw this on the big screen, but Citizen Kane is coming back out into theaters.
Ooh.
In September, 2 days only. One of those Fathom events.
Really?
Yes, and the Pint of Comics guys are talking about a field trip, and I'm going to have to get on that.
Oh yes, please keep me posted because I think I missed that during the pandemic. You guys went all to see that, but I threw my back out. So
that's right. Well, don't throw your back out.
Gotcha.
Don't move until after September. Just stay where you are.
Did you let it back in?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact.
I'm just seeing the intro to the Flintstones right now, and Pete like throwing his back out of the window.
Exactly.
And stay out.
So Kevin Hart has this really odd idea. He thinks people should be allowed to disagree. He also thinks people should be able to screw up and learn from it. Wow. You mean like normal life stuff? He says, when did we get to a point where life was supposed to be perfect, where people were supposed to operate perfectly all the time? The comic and actor said Sunday in an interview with the Times of London. I don't understand. I don't expect perfection from my kids. I don't expect it from my wife, friends, employees, because last I checked, the only way you grow up is from fucking up. Hart speaks from experience, having lost a high-profile job hosting the 2019 Oscars after years-old homophobic tweets and comments resurfaced. After he quickly stepped down from the gig amid the ensuing backlash, he told talk show host Ellen DeGeneres, on my side, openly. I say I'm wrong for my past words. I say it. I said it. I understand that. I know that. In this case, it's tough for me because it was an attack. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence that the day after I received the job, that tweet somehow manifested from 2008.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because...
Yeah, it's like somebody was just waiting. Hey, come on. All right, there he is. All right, we can show it.
Yeah, it always seems to be about tearing somebody down as soon as,
Yep.
Something's going on.
But, okay. It's not necessarily about cancel culture, Hart said Sunday in the Sunday Times interview. It's backlash. It's about the intent behind what you say. There's an assumption it's always bad, and somehow we forgot comedians are going for the laugh. You're not saying something to make people angry. That's not why I'm on stage. I'm trying to make you laugh, and if I did not make you laugh, I failed. That's my consequence.
Yep.
Yeah. As evidenced, if you haven't seen it yet, Jon Stewart's appearance on Stephen Colbert last night.
Okay.
If you watch that, that shows you all you need to know right there. Because Jon Stewart, as someone pointed out, is like oblivious, I think, to a lot of what's going on because he's not in the corporate media anymore.
Okay.
And he's being a comedian. And Stephen Colbert, who has sold his soul to the corporate devil, is trying to hide under his desk. And watching that dynamic play out was really, really interesting. You can see Stephen Colbert. And when Stephen Colbert, he uses coded like, oh, CBS, let me know where the edit point, where we're supposed to resume from the edit point, was his way of saying, cut this whole segment. Yeah.
I love it when Stephen Colbert is all nervous about something or embarrassed. It's so awesome.
What was scary is you can see these two guys started together on a cable comedy show. Jon Stewart is still of that mindset. Stephen Colbert has sold his soul. And you could tell how scared he is that he's going to get in trouble now. It's really sad. Really sad. So anyway, I won't go too much further, but he says it's a divide, but I'm not about to divide. I don't support the divide, he continued. I put everybody in the effing building. So good. You guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's just right on the money. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
you can't just
that at all.
The whole.
I don't even know what he said. Once upon a time.
The whole concept of not being able to have a different opinion and just keep going with a civilized conversation. It's like, why does everything have to blow up just because you have a different opinion from somebody? Automatically you'll get attacked. It's like, what happened?
Well, Charles Barkley agrees with that too. Cancel culture. Charles Barkley says it's gotten so out of hand right now. I couldn't imagine having to watch myself. You can't even have fun nowadays without these jackasses trying to get you canceled and things like that. Barkley says, all we ever talk about behind the scenes now is, yo, man, be careful going in this direction. We can't even have fun anymore, Barkley said of his Inside the NBA co-hosts. We've had fun all these years, and now all of a sudden in the last year and a half, everybody's trying to get everybody fired, and it really sucks. A lot of our bosses are cowards. Things have gotten so bad, Barkley says he can't even call San Antonio women big old women down in San Antonio anymore.
Well, yeah.
Barkley can't quite understand the problem. He claims he didn't call anybody personally fat. Too late, though. You'll never hear Barkley say it again, at least not on TNT, that is. I'm just having fun talking about sports. I'm trying to hang on for another couple of years till I'm 60, and then they can kiss my ass. I'm only working till I'm 60. I've already told them that. We can't even have fun anymore. We've had fun all these years, and now all of a sudden in the last year and a half, everybody's trying to get everybody fired, and it really sucks. Didn't he just say that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
The worst of it I see is when you have an opinion or a narrative that's being put forth, and then someone just raises their hand and says, "Wait, let's just think about this. I think it should be a personal decision, whether you want to go with that or not." And just for saying something so reasonable, they get buried. Just for saying, "Hold up, I just want to think about this." And you can't even do that. You can't pause or anything. You have to go with whoever, and I think that's the worst of it.
And the apologies are never enough. Like, even if you come out and say, you know what, that was stupid. I'm sorry for it. I'm sorry I offended people. I'm sorry I said it. and I'm a better person now because I know that I shouldn't do that. That's still not enough. You've got to be erased from the face of the earth.
That's a big mistake to apologize. Don't even bother doing that because that just makes it 10 times worse. But you're better off just staying the enemy without apologizing.
Yeah, because they don't know how to process that.
Right.
Because they have their instructions. They download their instructions, and if it deviates from the script and you don't apologize, they're like, it didn't work. I didn't work. What happened? What do we do now?
But if you do apologize, they just double down and attack you even more. So
nice.
It says fun till the SJWs took the TV away.
Nice.
Little Beach Boys. Another great movie, Love and Mercy. If you haven't seen that, check that one out. Great movie about Brian.
I haven't seen that one.
Wilson.
Oh,
brain just farted. You know, I just noticed this Stream Elements bot. I got to change the timing on these things.
I also like the Stream Elements that says response message. That's very, very clever.
I don't understand what that even means.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what I'm doing. I just
okay, Boomer.
I pretend I know what I'm doing. I have no freaking idea.
Where's that button?
But look at it. It's blowing up the chat. Here's another one. You wouldn't hit a channel with glasses on, would you?
Nice. You just have to change the timing.
Yeah, I have to change the timing. Yeah. I didn't know what it meant when it was like.
Let me see if I can put the bot in timeout. No, I can't.
That would be great if you could figure that out.
Really? Can we? No. Oh boy. Sorry, gang. You can punch this channel with glasses on.
That's you and me, man. Back. That's you and me. We both got glasses on. Well, if you really want to punch somebody,
hey,
I don't volunteer. I've been punched in the nose. I don't like it.
You know who has a punchable face though? Judah.
Me? Who does?
Judah.
And he's not Judah's on. Oh no. I'm gonna get a text in 3, 2, 1.
What text? You mean like
get that bitch off the show? She's sitting in my spot.
That's right. You got his spot. Peter Dinklage and Kevin Bacon starring in Toxic Avenger Reboot. This could be fun.
Okay.
It caught my eye. I mean, Kevin Bacon, right?
Could be.
I don't know. Peter Dinklage. Toxic Avenger Reboot is underway, and the cast includes Peter Dinklage as the titular hero and Kevin Bacon as the villain. Yeah. Is that correct?
Okay? This could be interesting.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
1984 is when it came out.
Yeah, that doesn't. Wait a minute. 1984? Did you say?
The comic came out.
It's that old.
That's what it says. It was released back in 1984.
Yeah, you're right. It was. Wow.
A musical? What?
I know. It's like a musical.
Yeah. I knew it was a cartoon because that came out to cash in on Ninja Turtles.
Right.
You know, oh, he's a mutant. Let's make him friendly for kids and make a whole bunch of other crazy toys about him.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, let's be honest. It's a trauma Lloyd Kaufman film. When I first saw the Toxic, I just laughed at it. It's not scary at all. It's, it's goofy. So here's the synopsis. Loosely based on Lloyd Kaufman's classic trauma franchise, The Toxic Avenger is the tale of a high school kid who gets dunked in a vat of toxic waste by a corrupt chemical company. Oh, those corrupt chemical companies. Curse you, corrupt chemical company. He survives the ordeal with one major side effect. Upon contact with toxic chemicals, he transforms into a monster with superhuman strength. Schwarzenegger would play the Exterminator, a former Black Ops agent who trains Toxie to use his powers for good. Together, they take on the lurking menace created by the polluters and the polluters themselves.
Oh, look who's in the chat.
Yeah.
Hi, Judah.
Okay, 6, you're up. Explain.
How's your critters, Judah? Judah, you're my favorite because you're the animal guy.
Well, he kicked the animal, didn't he?
He did kick
it. He did kick it, but then he cuddled it.
Okay.
It's like on South Park. Kick the baby.
Don't get the baby.
I saw this, Edson. I thought you might be interested in this one.
Paper. They're making that.
Amazon's making Paper Girls and adding Nate Cordry and Jaquan J. Kelly.
Kind of ironic that
Hulu's Woontag. Sorry.
Okay. Kind of ironic that it's like they're making Paper Girls, but the headline shows two guys.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Paper Girls is this really cool science fiction comic that takes place in the 80s with 4 Paper Girls.
Yep.
And they time travel, and it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to figure out who he would possibly be. Who would he?
Right. I mean,
there's not many male characters in there except the alien.
Right. I only really remember the 4 main characters, the girls. So.
Oh, it takes place on Halloween. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think you'd like it, Six. Yeah, Paper Girls follows 4 young girls who, while out delivering papers on the morning after Halloween in 1988, become unwittingly caught in a conflict between warring factions of time travelers, sending them on an adventure through time that will save the world. As they travel between our present, the past, and the future, they encounter future versions of themselves and now must choose to embrace or reject their fate.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
with Plan B, isn't Plan B Brad Pitt's production company? The series hails from
Plan
yeah,
B.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Like what you get from the pharmacy?
Yes.
Okay.
So Audrey will play Larry, a bit of a recluse with rusty social skills. Larry has devoted his life to being a member of the Underground, a secret organization devoted to helping one side win the Time War. After an encounter with time-traveling Paper Girls, Larry must decide how much, if anything, he's willing to sacrifice for the war and for the girls. So,
jeez, why don't I remember that character very well?
I don't remember Larry.
No, neither do I.
When did that book come out? Like 2015?
I think it might be older, but no, that's no, you're right. I mean, that's what 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 30 issues. I like the fact that it was just they told the whole story.
Yep.
And 30 issues, and but I honestly don't remember a character named Larry though.
I don't either.
I remember like one of the girls actually meeting an older version of herself.
Yep.
And that going on for a while, and then they go way far into the future. And, but I guess I have to go refresh my memory and read it again.
Yeah, same. I think the only thing that it suffered from is with that typical Image Comics thing that can happen where there are huge chunks of time. So like the first 10 or 11 issues came out, and then we'd wait like 6 months for the next one. And then they started and there was like almost a year before the last 8 or 9 came out. Remember?
Yep.
You're like, what happened? And I don't, So.
Yeah, I know that whole thing where you really get into that story because they put out the first 5 to 10 at a regular, because obviously because they've written and drawn them ahead of time before they start releasing them. Then they hit their lag where it takes them a couple months, and then you don't. It's not like you lose interest in the story, but it takes so long that you kind of forget where you were and how many times can you go back and start all over. Yeah, it was because of the time traveling back and forth, you had to kind of really stay on top of it.
Yep. It was entertaining though. Brian Vaughn and Cliff Chang will also be part of the show running staff.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it should hopefully it stays pretty accurate because it was fun, especially for us growing up in the 80s.
Yep. Because I remember I was a paperboy for a while too. So
I was too.
And actually, now might be probably the better time for somebody who hasn't read it to read it because you have your whole story there. You're not waiting for any gaps.
Yeah, it's all
out. Is that your recommendation?
Actually, yeah, sure.
They are out in collected editions.
5 issues there's like 6 trade paperbacks, 5 issues each.
Yeah.
They might. I don't know if they have the full collection, but I thought they had at least the first 4 at the local library too.
I think they put them into like a bigger compendium.
Oh, okay. Yep.
6, were you a paper girl?
No. I was a
No.
baby.
Oh,
I started babysitting when I was 11.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that
okay.
makes sense.
That's usually the two different ways that the job
Yeah.
started.
Exactly.
Babysitting a paper.
Yeah. What about you, Pete? Were you a paper boy?
I was actually. So didn't last very long, but I was a paper boy.
The worst
Did
part
you
of
get
being a
fired?
paper boy was collecting.
Oh my gosh, I was just
Yeah,
going to say that
yeah.
same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, sometimes I had to go back to the same house like 5 times just to get the damn $2 or whatever.
Yep.
Jeez. And it's like you were responsible for having a certain amount to give in to the newspaper. You did everything, and you had to hand in a certain amount, and you kept the rest of it. It's like that means you had to go back over and over again.
Yeah.
If they did it the same way now, I would have to turn my paper woman away. I don't carry cash.
Oh,
I would have to go to the bank just to get cash.
yeah, that's why they don't do it that way now. Now it's so
Yeah.
you don't even know. Do they still have deliverers? But if they do, they don't even know who they probably don't even meet their customers. They just leave them.
I get a
there.
Christmas card from her every year
Oh, good.
because she wants money. I give her a tip.
You get a newspaper.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember I got attacked by dogs one time when I went to collect.
Oh,
Did you kick them?
No, just ran as fast as I could.
Good.
$2.
Then I had to go back the next day.
I was just thinking that, Pete.
Yep.
I want my $2. It was, it built
It was
character
bad.
though. If I wanted my
Oh, yeah.
comics, if I wanted my baseball cards,
Right.
I do my paper route. And my chores at home. I got an allowance and I had the paper. I was rolling in the dough, man. I was making like $7 a week.
Wow.
Hey, that was a lot then.
Yeah.
Comics were like what, 50
78.
cents?
And
Maybe 35 cents for a
not
comic?
much has changed. Rolling in the dough,
That he's still making $7.
I'm making
Well,
at least $15 a week
Well,
now.
after all the taxes get taken away and all the expenses, then you're probably left with
hyperinflation and whatnot. All right. Before we get into this next story, I just got to say one thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Something happened to this dude in the last decade or so. It's just become a point where I think he can almost act this way on command. I got the Blu-ray for Bad News Bears last week, and I couldn't wait to watch it, so I watched it at like midnight. And there's a bonus feature with this person, and I watched it, and damned if he didn't cry at that too.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, I know who that is.
It's like he can cry on command, and I think it's crocodile tears to get jobs, right? That, and he's been spending too much time at the CW lately on all those CW shows. But so much controversy around this thing, and it hasn't even come out yet. Did you guys see the trailer?
Yeah, it was one great scene.
Yes, it was.
All the elements are from the same scene.
But it looks great.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it, Six?
I don't think I watched the trailer outside of your review that you did, your trailer reaction.
You saw the trailer. It's all
I
there.
Yeah, I saw the trailer through you, which everybody after this live stream should go watch that. Blog. Also, like, share, and subscribe.
That's the first place I saw the trailer.
I'd like to point out that the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and The Last Jedi all had great trailers too.
The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are amazing movies. And to put those in the same sentence with The Last Jedi, it hurts my heart.
I'm not sure if you're kidding.
I'm not doing that.
I'm serious. I love the prequels. Love the prequels. Do you really think that the prequels were as bad as The Last Jedi, Pete?
Oh goodness, no. But oh goodness, no.
Okay.
But there was definitely a negative reaction to the Phantom Menace, but I remember everybody lost their collective minds over the trailer.
Oh yeah, I remember sitting in front of the television with tears running down my face of happiness. I was pulling a Kevin Smith, but nobody was filming me, so. Mine were real.
Hey, I mean, I'm not, saying that some of his tears are not genuine. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark through glassy eyes the other night. It's my favorite movie of all time. And you go back to that 12-year-old moment sitting there seeing it for the first time. But he's gotten gross. He cries at everything now. And he's not even critical of things anymore. He just loves everything. So there's two things going on here. One, when they announced this He-Man show at Comic-Con 2019, San Diego, he put up a thing and it said like it's all about Tila and Tila's journey and all this kind of stuff, whatever, which sent up some alarms. And then Clownfish TV, if you haven't seen Clownfish, they're a really good channel, got a scoop from someone who had the script, who was working on the show, and said He-Man gets sidelined and like episode right away, like episode 1 or 2, he's out. And it's about Tila, not only Tila, rising, getting the sword and becoming like, the hero, but also exploring her sexuality. To which Kevin Smith like lost his shit and like went after Clownfish and like started this Twitter battle with Clownfish. So it was kind of weird because they were like, we didn't say anything. We just said what we were told and said, well, we hope it's good and not this. But anyway, he's been denying it. And then he kind of admitted that it is that. So there's that. And then Data Racer, who collects screenshots of tweets, Data Racer, we've seen his stuff before. He makes those collages.
Good stuff. Yep.
Good stuff. Data Racer went back and pulled an old tweet, which we'll get to. But it turns out Kevin Smith, who's been walking around saying he's like, a lifelong He-Man fan and cries at He-Man because it's from his childhood and doesn't like He-Man. Here's Exhibit A from his show, The Comic Book Men.
I have no love for He-Man. I have no love for He-Man either, but he's got a place in the world in a comic book story.
So did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, isn't that a fine how do you do?
And here's the tweet that Data Racer pulled. I wasn't a He-Man fan, but Gallery 1980 is running an awesome Masters of the Universe art show. Take a look. And that was from January 10th, 2013. So, okay, fine. Harv Bennett and Nick Meyer didn't like Star Trek before they made The Wrath of Khan, the best Star Trek movie ever.
Yeah.
But they educated themselves and they went back and watched all the shows and immersed themselves in the lore and said, okay, I think we understand what Star Trek is. And they clearly did.
Yep.
So, I mean, he could have done that. I'm not saying that he couldn't have done that. But to run around calling himself a super fan.
Yeah.
So here's an exact quote from Smith in EW. EW did a first look. Everything I've ever worked on in like 27 years, this is easily the top 5 of my favorite, most satisfying projects, says Smith, a He-Man super fan. Now, granted, they called him the super fan, but they called him that because he told them that.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he could. Why would you take a project and you're going to spend so much of your time working on it and not be a super fan? If I wasn't passionate about my job, I would be a miserable motherfucker. So why would he accept the job? Why would he go?
Money.
Probably had a fat paycheck
after it.
Money.
That's not enough for me. I don't.
More fake geek cred, because I think a lot of his geek cred is manufactured fake geek cred.
Yeah.
And again, I kind of understand where he's coming from on He-Man. I watched a lot of He-Man when it was on, but I didn't love He-Man. I didn't have to watch it. I just watched it when it was on and I was around. I didn't go out of my way to watch He-Man. But if somebody said, do you want to take on this project? I would say, well, okay. And then I would do what Harv Bennett did and watch He-Man and get vested in the lore. And that could have happened with Kevin Smith. And it could turn out that he actually really likes it now. But to call himself a lifelong superfan?
Yeah.
Has he ever been confronted with that quote that he said? He's not. Has anybody ever directly confronted him on it? And has he ever directly responded?
Well, I don't know, because this is a pretty new story. I just saw this stuff coming out a couple days ago.
But
they're
that
exposing
quote,
stuff about him.
that clip has been out for, I've seen it months and months ago when he was first attached to it.
This
So
year?
yeah. So I would think that by now somebody would have said, hey, you said this on such and such date. What's your response to it?
Right. I don't know. I mean,
he'd probably just call whoever asked a sexist and
No, he's
and
not.
brush it aside.
He's not really like that. I think he deflects well, I can't wait by the power of Grayskull, man. That's how he navigates and deflects. So I don't know. There's only one way we're going to find out, and that's we're going to see it when it airs next month. I'm still going to hold out hope that it's good. I am going to hold out hope that it's good.
I mean, I hope so too. But I've ever since that came out with Clownfish way back when, I've had this kind of negative outlook on it. I probably shouldn't, but it's just the fact that he's just being so fake about it. I don't
That's
know
the thing. He's come off, to me anyway, in the last, I'd go back at least 8 years, so disingenuous.
Yep.
Like everything he built his reputation on, he just seems like a big phony now. And I tried to listen to his podcast, and it's just gross. He just kisses people's asses, and it's gross. He loves to hear the sound of his own voice, and pats and gives himself attaboys all the time, and it's just it's sickening. Matt McGloin, who wrote this article on Comic Book News, happened to tag this at the end. Unlike Smith, I happen to be a big He-Man fan, and even had a letter printed in the official He-Man magazine back when I was 9 years old. Thanks, Kevin.
That's cool.
Yeah. I hope you beat Skeletor and his evil friends. I like it when you say
evil.
Evil. So I don't know. We will see, but yeah.
People are going to be really pissed if it turns out that he's been lying this whole time.
Well, he gets propped up by the access media, and the access media is exactly what it sounds like. They will kiss people's asses to continue to get access to the sets, to the studios, to the actors, to the showrunners, to whatever. They're not going to be critical, and they're not going to say, wait a minute, dude, you're contradicting yourself here. They're not going to do that. So, which dovetail, where did it go? Oh, no.
Zax, he did have a heart attack.
Who?
Zax said, I think he had a heart attack or something. As a matter of fact, he did.
He had a Widowmaker heart attack.
But he was stoned out of his mind. It basically kept him calm. So he was able to get to the hospital and basically didn't strain himself, so he dropped dead.
Funny story about that. Well, I accidentally closed the next story. I'm working on a documentary about Charlton Comics with my friend Jackie, and Pete's involved and Jude is involved. And Kevin Smith is supposed to be in the film. He agreed to have us at his house in LA to do an interview. While we were scheduling that is when he had the Widowmaker heart attack.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. So since it's been impossible to get any kind of because he's involved with this, he's got a lot of shit going on, and it's been virtually impossible to get his manager to figure out a time and place and whatnot.
So you guys,
I'm sure this last segment's probably not going to help.
You guys don't have any footage of him crying then?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm sure he will. Oh my God, where did it go? Here it is. Sorry about that. Okay, here it is. It's back. So, talking about the access media, I think what's been going on the last 5 years is that filmmakers and actors and creative people are not used to getting pushback on things and or told flat out directly that we don't like what you're doing here. This was bizarre. Did you guys see this?
I saw some of this, and this was just head shaking.
This was really weird. I actually saw this Sunday night when it was happening, and I was like, what the hell is Mangold doing? Because he just lost his mind for like 24 hours. He just went nuts attacking people. All it did is it started from this guy, Matthew Kadish, and I guess he works for, or he's involved with this Salty Nerd.
Okay.
They have a channel and a podcast and whatnot. All he did was tweet this pretty benign statement. To anyone thinking Indiana Jones 5 might be good, let me just point out, 1, Steven Spielberg is not directing. 2, Kathleen Kennedy is producing. 3, Harrison Ford is 78 years old. 4, it's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who wrote Solo.
Good point.
So because he did that, hashtag Indiana Jones 5, it caught the eye of director James Mangold.
Why is he like getting roped into this stuff?
This is amazing. Like, and again, you know what? Not a direct Lucasfilm employee, but working
like
for
one.
Lucasfilm. And
Close enough.
Close enough, right? 6.
Yep.
And the first thing he says, keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement.
Kathy must be proud.
Goes for the basement dweller narrative right off the freaking bat, right? 2, never seen a script by John. Nothing against him, just reality. Butterworths and I started from a blank page, so this statement is incorrect, but we're fans, right? And 3, 1 through 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. That would be these 3. Number 2, debatable. As we see, Mangold attacks the fan with his comments and continues to do so as another fan chimed in with the following. This guy, Alexander, comes and starts licking the taint of James Mangold digitally.
That's disgusting.
Sorry, 6.
That's okay. Oh, I didn't say I didn't like it, but I just said that's disgusting.
Good clarification there.
Don't think about it, James. Keep doing your work. There are more people excited about it, I'm sure. He writes back, thanks, Axe. Oh, they're on a first Axe, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if Alexander was sitting right next to him. I don't mind people griping and prognosticating. But on my watch, false info, ageism, and snark from so-called journalists is going to be confronted directly and forcefully. In my opinion, these clickbaiters like to dish it out, but like night crawlers can't stand the light.
Oh, for God's sakes.
How is this ageism? That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just watched Raiders for the 40th anniversary. He's
40th.
like
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Think about this.
It made me feel fucking old, let me tell you. You know how many times I saw that when it came out in the theater? I was 12. I saw
A lot?
Like 18 times in the theater.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Oh.
Harrison Ford had to do a lot of physical stuff. Yeah. He had to do a lot of physical stuff in 2008 for the 4th movie, and it looked daunting for him then.
And they were making all the old age jokes for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's wearing the dots on his face, making the age him.
Really?
So Kadish comes back. Kadish kept a cool head and continued with his issues. Ford will always be indie. The issue is whether he's still believable as the character if he's doing crazy action scenes and pushing 80 years old. Mangold shot back. Yeah. Have you read the script, Matt? Clearly not, because you don't even know who wrote it. So why don't you take a rest on my show till there's a trailer or a title or something for you to be upset about. For all you know, I could be addressing all your worries. Which is kind of what he should have said from the beginning. He should just say, look, dude, we're gonna surprise you with this. Trust me. That's all he had to say to this dude, right?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say back. If you're gonna say anything at all, why would you even do this?
Yep.
So that's what day drinking will do.
No, don't get me wrong. Mangold's made, I think I love every single one of his movies. He's made really good films. Ford versus Ferrari being the most recent. 310 to Yuma, Copland, like everything. I like all his movies. Matt writes back to him, "Sir, I would love if you proved me wrong and made a great Indiana Jones movie. I've been an indie fan since I was a kid, and it's one of my all-time favorite franchises, but it's hard to get excited over what I'm seeing." And Mangold writes him again. "I'm sorry you're finding it hard to get excited about the film I am making, Matt. Considering you don't know the story, the script, the title, only some of the cast, nor have you seen images. If I were you, I would spend my time flipping hot takes about something that exists." So Kadish sends back this photo. "We don't have basements, but we do have a kick-ass studio with a Batman statue." And then Mangold has to attack him on that. "Yeah, that's a kick-ass studio. Congrats on the Batman statue and the jar of corks. So how about you let me finish my film and then bitch all you want about it in front of your vinyl bricks lit by your fancy bounce light, and maybe don't call opinion news."
Did he call opinion news?
Let's be clear. Nobody on YouTube or doing podcasts have ever claimed that they're doing actual news, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this stuff we're reading from these blogger sites and access media sites, I wouldn't even call that news. Yeah, Zax is right. Zax says best thing that could have happened to Matt. Yeah, how many subs did he get off this, right?
Yeah, he's monetized. Or he's applied for it.
Yep. Update number 2. Mangold lets loose F-bombs and questions what is meant by being a fan. So now other people get involved. This guy, Dignity Dude. "Apparently, Twitter users are now required to submit movie opinion permit applications to James Mangold in triplicate for his explicit approval."
Nice.
Right. "No, that's not what I was saying. I was coming after a vendor selling clicks, not fans. Sort it out, dude." Then Odin from Friday Night Tights jumps in. "LOL, he had no links or anything, just saying out his thoughts. And then you so-called professional decide to have a hissy fit. Sad and pathetic, God help you." And he replies to Odin with, "Someone replied and included me. If you care to know, the original tweet came from a site, not a fan. It had facts wrong and was nasty. I understand you think that I should have let people like him spout his shit. Most days I do, not today." I wonder if you're right, Six. I wonder if he'd been hitting the old JD bottle that day. Then Dignity Dude says, "Matthew Kadish is not a fan. He has a YouTube channel." I guess we're DQ'd as fans, all of us.
Oh, God.
You're not a fan? Pete, you're not a fan? Edson, you're not a fan? And I sure as fuck am not a fan.
You hear that, Godzilla? I'm not a fan because I'm on a YouTube channel.
And that goes for everyone in the damn chat.
Wow.
You're not fans because you're on YouTube. And if you have a website, double whammy. Because
double fuck you.
And a website, double fuck you. He may well also be a fan, whatever the fuck that means. It means paying customer, James Mangold. It means people who have been propping up the franchise for 40 years, James Mangold. That's okay. Fuck, I'm an indie fan. Wait, does James Mangold have a website? He certainly is not my fan. Hardly seems a Harrison Ford fan. So what does that word mean exactly? Holy crap. I love Harrison Ford. The guy's 80. When they said Indy 5, I was like, no. Why?
Yeah, I'd rather see them recast him as opposed to watching an 80-year-old Harrison Ford.
I thought Chris Pratt would be perfect to swap out.
Chris Pine, Chris Pratt. There's so many good
a lot of Chris's out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of perfectly good Chris's that could take over.
Yeah. So here's a set photo. There's Harrison Ford. I mean, granted, he looks awesome for 78. He does, but he's not an action hero anymore. And there's our favorite producer right next to him. Let's click on this and blow
what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Oh, let's look at this in glorious giant size. There we go.
Close your messages, Keith.
What's that?
Close your messages. You can see them right through the picture.
Well, it's just the notification.
No, on the right. On the right-hand side of the screen. Yeah, clickety click.
Link. I didn't see that. That's a shitty feature. Thanks a lot, twatter. Get rid of that. Boo on you. So, and then they got the whole thing screen capped right here if you wanted to go through the whole thread. But Yeah, and there were more. Az did like a 40-minute video on this. Like there were
Oh,
there were so many. He attacked so many people. This guy. It's just so bizarre that he's that thin-skinned. That a simple, like I said, this first tweet is so benign. There's nothing here. He just makes these points. These are valid points, right?
Yeah.
The first Indiana Jones movie without Steven Spielberg directing it. Kathleen Kennedy, look, we know what she's done in the last. Look at the Star Wars sequels. That's all you need to say, right? And Harrison Ford's old. I mean, this isn't
the truth.
Right. And he's not going like, go to my website and read my blog and listen to my podcast. And yeah. No. And he doesn't.
He should have tagged Justin Timberlake.
Nice.
Is that what it is? It's the Justin Timberlake.
Well, get him involved. That maybe he could get a little more publicity from the JT fans.
Yeah. But he didn't even tweet it at James Mangold. He didn't even do that. He just threw it out into the ether, right? So
he should have just said, I hear your concerns, I'm aware of them, and I'm going to make sure that I address every one of them, and you're going to get a kick-ass indie movie.
Yeah, it's
that probably would have.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, but that probably would have made news in and of itself, because then I think he's aware of problems and promises a great movie.
Right. Right. So, and I don't doubt James Mangold can deliver the goods. The guy's an awesome director. But that he did not curry much favor with the fans, whatever the fuck those are. Paying customer.
Yep. You want people to come to the theater.
Paying customer. That's a good idea, Zach. Zach says I should pick a fight with Coppola. Godfather 3 was hot garbage.
I love Godfather 3.
You do?
Oh.
Wow. The new cut? The Coda cut or the original cut?
What's the Coda cut?
The Coda cut I heard was much better, but it still has his daughter in it, who can't act her way out of a wet bag. Sophia.
Wow. Yeah.
See, I don't mind it. I don't hate the movie, but compared to the first two, it's quite a drop off. But
you don't have to back.
No, I don't.
Just
I don't
because I'm a
hate it like
fan.
most people do.
It.
It's just she's really bad. Did you see this one?
Oh no.
What is? Oh.
If you're wondering about the direction of Phase 4, look no further than Executive Vice President Victoria Alonso claiming you're leaving money on the table by not representing.
Well, who says we're not? They're not representing. I mean,
they always have.
See, I know. It's what are they?
Well, you know how they did for the last 2 years. They think that everyone's been, white supremacy. Yeah. So the reason we have success consistently is because our audience is global. You cannot have a global audience and not somehow start to represent it. For us, it was really, 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 really.
Really?
That. Yeah. For the longest time, we heard a woman-led film will never open. I say, please check Captain Marvel made a lot of money.
Supposedly.
Well, it did, but that's because it was like movie 21 in a series of 23, and they made it. They promoted it that you had to see it, or you would not understand the Infinity War, which was a load of shit. Because I went to Captain Marvel and it was awful, and I hated it, and it had nothing to do with the Infinity War.
I used to think that a lot of the channels that I followed, they were being real assholes to Brie. What the fuck is her name? Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
Because yes, and I thought, you know what, you guys are a bunch of women haters, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I saw the movie, and then I realized that I was a woman hater too.
Well, it's not only that, but she during the promotional tours for that movie, she was going on this all-out assault on older white dudes.
And I didn't know anything about that at the time because I didn't really care. I was going to see Captain Marvel because it's part of the series and I own all of them. I knew I was going to see it in the theater, which I very rarely go to the movies in the theater, but I knew I was going to see that one. And so it was just I was just along for the ride. And I thought, and particularly Ethan Van Sciver, he's probably the one in this community I've been following for the longest. And I don't know how I got stuck on him. I don't make comic books, but he was really shitting on her. And I thought, God, you're such an asshole. Why are you guys doing this? And then, like I said, then I started seeing, my computer's restarting. Okay, see you in a minute.
Okay. We got Stacey Wasey giving us me response message. Hello.
Thank you, Stacey Wasey. I much like Six, I didn't know any of that was going on either. I wasn't paying any attention back then.
Yeah, me neither.
The aforementioned Jackie told me, because I went to see it with Jackie because we're working on the Charlton thing, and she told me that Brie Larson was a hot piece of shit, and told me, well, she's like, oh, she's a horrible woman. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then I remember halfway through the movie, she goes, boy, it's a good thing we didn't bring anybody with us. They would have hated this. I'm like, I hate this. This is awful. She goes on to say, Alonzo says, then when they always told us that Black Panther was never going to open and nobody wanted a completely black cast. And that made $1.3 billion. Okay. Just stop acting. This is like Apple Computer pretending they invent everything when they really just took someone else's idea and maybe refined it. Coming to America in 1980, what was that, 88?
Yep.
Had... and that's the first one that pops into my head. I know there's been more. I mean, come on.
Yeah, nobody. This is like saying that everybody hated Ian McKellen being cast as Gandalf.
This is gaslighting, exactly.
Which is completely untrue. Nobody was saying, "Oh my God, a black cast! It'll never fly. It'll never play in Peoria."
Oops, I punched the wrong one up. Yeah, it would never play in Peoria. Welcome back, Six.
Thank you.
That was a quick reboot. You must have like a supercomputer, like NASA.
I do. That's me. No, this was $350 I bought on Amazon last summer.
Nice. Like one of those Chromebooks?
No.
Oh.
I'm not that pathetic.
Well, those are handy just for doing internet and stuff.
Those are terrible.
Okay. Oh, I want to get
I don't know what this is
because I hate bringing
It's an Aspire 5.
Oh, okay.
I needed one in a hurry.
Does it do the dishes?
No, but I do.
Does it core Apple?
Can it core?
Does it core?
Can it core?
Can it core Apple?
I don't core apples. I usually eat the whole thing.
That was a honeymoon reference. Well played, Edson.
I am not that old.
Zip, zip. But can it core?
Hey, wait, where is she coming up with these things? Who are these mythical people that said a woman-led movie doesn't work? What are you talking about? Who said that? If it's a good story, any movie doesn't matter.
That's like on the news when they go, people say or they say. Without
I know. Who are these people? Yeah. Who said Black Panther would go?
Nobody. Nobody, especially after we saw him in Civil War. I couldn't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
So shut your noise, you Alonzo, you gaslighting fool. So she goes on to say, so you can look at it from the social point of view, the cultural point of view, but truthfully, this is a business. From a fiscal point of view, you're leaving money on the table by not representing. I give you this. In the Heights, a slow start on HBO Max, in addition to soft box office opening. The movie made $11.5 million in its opening weekend. A Quiet Place 2, which has been out for 3 weeks, beat it.
Yep.
So, hang on a second. I want to make sure I'm clear on this.
Right.
From a fiscal point of view, you are leaving money on the table by not representing. Huh. Wait a minute. From a fiscal point of view, you are leaving money on the table by not representing. Huh.
Tip.
Huh. But this article doesn't seem to support her point.
Right.
Neither does the box office numbers from Terminator Dark Fate, Charlie's Angels, Ocean's 8, Ghostbusters 2016. Shall we continue?
And how much money was left on the table when those 22 Marvel movies, MCU movies, came out?
Right.
Which one of the Marvel movies did they have to lie about and buy tickets and inflate all the numbers for?
Oh my God, they had to do that? Was it Captain Marvel?
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah. That was not a good movie. Okay, this one brought to us by Six.
I actually read this.
This is weird. You sent this article to me because you wanted to hear me read
yes,
this.
I did.
I think I saw this the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to hear you read this.
I don't want to read it.
I purposely did not read it in advance just so I could do it live.
Oh gosh.
So this is you can do a reaction.
Really?
Yes, it's true. I just threw the link in and I said, "You want me to read it, so I'll do it then."
Do it live.
DC. Thanks, Bill O'Brien or Bill O'Reilly. DC nixed Batman sex scene in Harley Quinn series because heroes don't do that. Shame on you, heroes.
How do you think we get more heroes?
God. Not that apparently. Unless you're Tom King.
Where do baby heroes come from?
Exactly.
Where do babies here? The stork brings them.
The super stork.
Batman has, canonically speaking, had sex. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
He has a son, and he has at least once. He has at least once. I think the word "been" should be in there. He has been at least. He has at least been once engaged.
No, he was at least once engaged.
Oh, okay, you're right. But wasn't he also once engaged to Talia al Ghul?
Yep.
But there are limitations, and the creators of the Harley Quinn animated series on Hobo Max ran into that barrier, according to a new interview with executive producer Justin Halpern with Variety. It's incredibly gratifying and free to be using characters that are considered villains because you just have so much more leeway. I agree. That's why I always tend to like villains better. A perfect example of this is in the third season of Harley when we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman. What?
Yep.
And DC was like, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. They're like, heroes don't do that. But they let Tom King do it. In the comics, they banged on the rooftop, remember?
Well, it's okay to bang.
They did it.
It's okay to have sex, yeah.
It's okay to have
but
sex.
But going down on a woman, no.
Oh, no. Whoa. So this is great. Thank you for sending this. So,
wow.
So Halpern and his team shot back asking if heroes are just selfish lovers. Ooh. Through the gauntlet then. No, it's that we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy if Batman is also going down on someone. DC execs told Halpern. The interview does.
I would think it would be easier to sell a toy because then you've already got some scenarios you can act out with your figures and, you know.
Totally.
As opposed to coming up with your own scenario.
Except both the male and the female action figures have the same genitalia. None.
That's true. You just take a little polymer clay and never mind.
Nice.
Shape your own.
Are you going to make your own Six?
I'm going to make my own.
All right. We can premiere them. The interview does note.
Don't tempt me because I will get out all of my crafty. I already have everything I need.
Oh, then you have to do it so we can premiere them. We could have the going down on Catwoman's action set.
I'm going to make a video of it.
I probably should have showed
today. What was that, Edson?
I probably should have
What'd you say?
Today.
I probably should have showed it late today. DC has been supportive throughout production and allowed them to push the envelope repeatedly. The truth is that Batman is one of the most profitable, if not the most, superheroes on the planet. It's one thing to let a comics writer suggest the character has had lovers and another to put him in a raunchy situation. It's hardly a surprise they want to protect their most valuable player and keep him in the spaces fans expect. Well, Ain't that something?
Didn't they show his dick in the or in the comic?
They did. They did. That was the
Really?
Black series.
What?
That's the adult.
What issue number?
Black Label, yeah.
It was the Black Label. It was last year or a year before. What was the name of the book? I forgot.
I don't know. I don't think.
Go take that out for us, Keith. We'll hold the fort down.
I didn't buy it.
I didn't buy that one.
I didn't buy it, but you can if you Google search it, you'll see it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's so yeah.
I'm surprised.
It's like yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I'm surprised they try to push that envelope. That's kind of crazy because I mean, in the Killing Joke, they had Batgirl and Batman do it on the roof. Remember?
Yes, they did.
Which was one of the stupidest.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was some of the worst 45 minutes of animation that's been out there. But but they did it.
Wait, it was a cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a graphic novel in the
I'm not
80s
into
by
that.
Alan Moore, called The Killing Joke. It was a classic, but it's too short to adapt into a full feature. So they padded it out. And at the beginning, they padded it out with Batgirl and Batman doing a wham bam thank you ma'am on the top of a building.
And that relationship never occurred between them.
They did show his Dick Grayson. They did. It's in my nightstand. I actually cut the picture of Batman with his penis and made it my sleeping mask.
Wow.
That's not true. I just made that up. Predator 5 is likely skipping theaters for Hulu release. Jeez.
Oh, what a shame.
Wow. Not even giving it a chance.
This thing's dead on arrival, man.
Yeah. For sure.
We'll cut to the here's the synopsis of Predator 5. The story will now keep in mind I've said this a zillion times, but for our audience who's not heard me say this, all I think of when I read this is Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park saying, now you will have a predator in your Predator movie, right? The synopsis goes like this. The story will follow Key, a Comanche woman who goes against gender norms and traditions to become a warrior. Many years ago, in a time before any Europeans had ever encroached on their lands, the Comanche people had a well-defined society and gender norms. Key is very close to her younger brother, Tabe, who is being groomed as a leader. As capable as any young man in the tribe, Key has always been a teacher and a source of inspiration for Tabe. In the Comanche way, she is Patsy, the elder sister that has helped out to shape him. Key is a truth teller and has insight that others do not. A tomboy, she wants to prove herself in the masculine world of the Comanche. When danger threatens them all, Key sets out to prove that she is as capable as any young warrior.
And where's the Predator?
Predator shows up where?
This seems like it permanently belongs in the what fresh hell is this bucket. Wow.
So as a result of that thrilling synopsis, it sounds like one of those Disney animated movies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It appears as if the new Predator 5 movie in development at Disney Fox will be skipping theaters and getting a streaming release on Hulu, like not even on Disney Plus. They're kicking it to Hulu. The info is.
I just subscribed to Hulu.
Well, then you can watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So excited.
And wait to see. And wait to see how long it takes for a Predator to show up. Well,
yeah, 5 minutes before 5 minutes before the closing credits. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
My God, does this sound like hot trash or what? Oh, thank you, Stacy.
Oh, I agree with Stacy. I'd hire you to read my book if I ever finished it.
No. Why?
The audiobook.
Where did that come from? Was that after reading about Batman going down on
or this
Catwoman?
This thing? Oh, God. Like half this, I was like halfway through it and going, what's going on here? I can't even follow that. So, yeah, Predator 5 DOA. It's really sad when you have potential that this franchise could have had and what they've done to it. Good God.
Ha ha, Glinzer. Ha ha.
Fiercer Predators probably have appeared with Chris Hansen. Yeah. Oh my God. That would be a better one, actually. How did this happen? Another tab just closed on me. All right, well, we'll do this one first since it's here.
It's shy.
It's
I'm
what?
sorry, this never happens to me.
All right, but in that previous
shy.
one,
Squeaky chair.
I'm just wondering who wrote that. Whoever wrote that synopsis, do they just guess that people see Predator and that audience automatically comes? So they're trying to get some other audience that is not a Predator fan to come.
I don't know. That synopsis really did sound like something Disney would make as an animated.
Oh, I agree.
You know, which that's fine, but don't call it Predator.
Right.
Call it, what was her name? Comanche Key or whatever her name is. I don't know. Edson, can you explain this? How do you say
Lord of the Rings? Yeah, War of the Rohirrim. I believe that term was in the.
You watch your dirty mouth.
Sounds like a venereal disease.
It really does.
There's a salve for that.
Wow. That term was definitely in the books. I'm trying to remember if it was in the Peter Jackson movies, because that's the term for.
I think it was.
Those that came from Rohan. Basically like they're writers, that go into war because they're always like saying, "Here come the Rohirrim." I'm trying to think of all the names. What was that? Eomer was the leader or something like that.
Yep.
So this is before those Lord of the Rings takes place before those Lord of the Rings. In the Two Towers, that big battle that we saw in Helm's Deep, where they kind of hold up.
Yeah,
they hold up there, and it was like a place that never failed to fight off it. It never fell.
It never fell, right?
Because it was built so well. Well, in this is kind of like the original battle that took place in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that happened.
This is the battle that crafted the legend of Helm.
Yes, exactly. It's about maybe 200 years before, and the leader of the king of Rohan at the time was Helm Hammerhand, and it's named after him. Well, I was trying to be serious, but
it's family entertainment.
That's so immature.
Helm Hammerhand.
I was doing so well.
That's going to be my new nickname.
That's a good one.
Left or right?
Oh yeah. Anyways, it was named after him. Helm Deep.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be animated.
Yes, right. That's the other big part of this. It's animated. New Line Cinema, and it's going to be in the theaters.
Nice.
I believe, right? Yep.
Cool.
So very different than what you're expecting in Amazon's version.
Yes. So the quote from Carolyn Blackwood, COO for Warner Pictures Group, and Richard Brenner, president and CCO for New Line, shared the following statement. All of us at New Line feel a deep affinity for the extraordinary world J.R.R. Tolkien created, so the opportunity to dive back into Middle-earth with the team at Warner Brothers Animation is a dream come true. Fans know Helm's Deep as the stage for one of the greatest battles ever put to film, and with many of the same creative visionaries involved in the brilliant Kenji Kamiyama at the helm, we couldn't get more excited to deliver a fresh vision of its history that will invite global audiences to experience the rich, complex saga of Middle-earth in a thrilling new way. I find it interesting that they want to invite global audiences, which seems to be Amazon's problem. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I think you can do it by just making kick-ass Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's
If you film it, they will come.
Totally.
I would.
I love that name, Helma Hammerhand. Man, that is it. That's the shit.
Changed your
Awesome.
Yeah, but I want to know left or right. Which is the hammer hand?
The stranger.
Wow.
To call back to an earlier conversation.
Yeah. And I thought it was going to be a quiet Tuesday.
So did I.
Oh no.
The way you were talking.
This went right off the freaking rails, man.
The stranger.
Teach me to put in some stories.
I know it's like, here's one that's pretty benign.
I thought it was. Oh,
you also brought this.
Speaking of which, yeah, I don't.
First of two Battleship Yamato 2022-05 film.
I mean, I don't know that much about what the story is about. What obviously Deathlock is coming back. I believe it's in their version. It's maybe Deathless, or I don't think it's called Deathlock, but you know who that is, or at least Keith does. So they redid the first two series from Star Blazers, back like in the 70s.
Right.
They rebooted those as 2199 and 2202 respectively. And I went back and got those on Blu-ray. Those were great. All the enhancements they did, and they made certain changes to the story as well. Not in a bad way. They added some more characters that were very interesting, but the main core is still there, and the main storyline with the first story going to Iskandar, and the second story, fighting the Comet Empire. But this new set of movies, I really have no idea what the story is going to be about. But there's all the kind of
all the designs,
the designs of the ships. But if you go back up, the top row is like all the characters that we've seen before. I believe the bottom row is like mainly new characters. So they're doing a great job with this, resurrecting it again.
Well, unlike here, where they feel like they have to reinvent everything, they stay pretty consistent.
Oh yes,
they know what people want, so they just keep giving it to them.
That's for sure. Yep, I believe it's going to be so in Japan. They're going to release them as a series of theatrical movies, which they did also with the previous two, the 2199, 2202. And then they put them together as on the Blu-ray as like certain like regular size, maybe half-hour episodes or 22-minute episodes.
Oh, okay.
For release here or other parts of the world.
Right. Interesting. I wonder if it takes off like Demon Slayer did, if they'll actually bring it over here.
Oh, in the theater, you mean? Oh, I would love that. Oh, jeez. Yeah, but that's a high recommendation for me. If for people to go get, if you can get it, you can get this on Blu-ray. The first two series on Blu-ray, the 2199, 2202. They're really good, really nicely done.
Awesome. Yeah, and as we know, like I just said, when things work, they don't tamper with it.
No.
And here's the May 2021 list of the top 20 adult graphic novels. Or this is April, I'm sorry. And you can see there's not a single American comic on here.
Wow.
Not one.
How about that?
How about them apples?
Is this like worldwide sales?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would be if it was national sales.
It's sad.
In the West, there's all different charts on here. This site, ICV2, is like, they call themselves the business site on comics and whatnot. Here, this will be interesting. May. I have to register. Screw you. No, American comic books are getting slaughtered. just slaughtered in
Oh
sale.
yeah.
It's not even. It's sad. Getting killed in their own backyard. And it's funny because you go to the store, you go to any bookstore now, and the manga section is like rows and rows and rows, and the American graphic novels are
just
all mixed up on one shelf. Like they mix the Marvel and the DC and everything into one shelf.
It's funny. I have a comparison too. The other day I was at the Wallingford, where I live, the Wallingford Library. Same thing. It's like they had a one little shelf of all kinds of different trade paperbacks for comics, all mixed in there, Marvel, DC, and Independence, and one. And then you go down the whole big row of manga, like as deep as the library is, and it's like, and I just noticed, I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
My library's the same way.
Yeah, Zach, we can't believe I'm not my Starfire.
Yeah, right.
Not Starfire is not there either. That just looks so compelling.
Yeah.
Sven says I stopped buying comics in 2013 when they gender swapped Thor. Yeah, they didn't just stop at Thor. They, as you know, I mean, you can see the Disney Plus shows that are coming up, Iron Heart and all those. It's just, oh my god!
Which good news, you don't actually have to watch them.
I'm sorry, Six.
I stopped buying comics when The Last Jedi. No, that's okay. When The Last Jedi came out.
Oof. I did like the Darth Vader comics Marvel did, though. Those were okay.
Yeah, those were pretty good. Yeah. But it really is amazing, though, that they think that these changes is going to benefit them somehow in a financial way. It's like you can't see the results. Like you just showed up in this one graph, and they can go a lot deeper into their research, but something as simple as what you just showed, they can't see that.
It's that they don't want to face it. You saw Jerry Dugan a couple of weeks ago saying that we don't care about what the fans think. We're making these for each other. They're trying to impress each other. They're trying to get the Hollywood gig. They're trying to sell their stuff to Hollywood. So, you know. And that run, that Marvel run that Sven pointed out, is what started the downfall.
Yeah.
I mean, they have just not recovered. Their comics are bad. I'm down to 2 Marvel titles, and one of them I'm reading begrudgingly. It's Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man.
I knew you were going to say that.
Good anymore. It's amazingly bad. DC's got a handful of decent stuff. Marvel's just off the rails.
A hammer handful.
A what?
Hammer handful.
Sven asks, has anyone seen Sweet Tooth on Netflix? It's pretty good. So is Shadow and Bone, albeit a bit CW-ish. Still pretty interesting. I have not, because I don't have Netflix right now. I turned it off for a while because I don't have time to watch anything. So I will be turning it on, though. For
my sister has Netflix.
Yeah.
Therefore, I have
watch
Netflix.
Oh, yeah. You just admitted that globally.
Well, but my sister has Disney Plus because I have Disney Plus.
Ah, and you also admitted that.
Good trade-off.
Yeah. So, what's that? Did I miss something?
What?
Nope.
I don't know. You started laughing. I didn't know.
I did?
Yeah. No? A bit?
You know what? I have to go. I got to go to work. So thank you all very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Should I make you large so you could promote anything? Do you want to promote something?
Yeah, make me large.
There you go.
That's what she said. Yeah, I'd like to promote spaying and neutering your animals, and I'd like to promote watching the Star Wars prequels because they're amazing and awesome, and I love them. And I want to say hi to Zax7 in chat, my good friend, and subscribe to GeekTime TV. Like the stream, share it, and yeah, be good to those who are good to you and fuck the others.
Nice. I love that. And I just noticed you changed your name to The Stranger. Thanks for coming on again, Six. You are awesome. And
Yeah.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just
Oh,
noticed
you know what else? I have. What?
that Zach's is 7 and you're 6, so you're 6 and 7. We have a
Yeah,
6
we
and
are.
7 here. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to say, if Judah's listening, I'm sorry that I said you have a punchable face, because I think you're an awesome person. Actually, that's not true. I'm not sorry I said it, because it got a laugh, and I do love to make
Get a
people
laugh.
laugh.
That was the whole point.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you thought I was serious.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that's
always
what you meant,
joking, by the way. Always. Yeah.
Right.
I'm always.
That's what I was going to say. You're just trying to say you were just kidding.
Yeah. He's an easy target.
Anything for a cheap laugh.
That's right. Yep, that's right. All right. I'll see you guys another time.
You didn't.
Oh,
bye, Six.
Nerdporial life form. Zoe, Nerdporial.
6 is a 10 in our book.
Aw. Lying's a sin. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, we got a few more things here. Stacy's favorite person, Bob Paycheck, is taking credit for making the Avengers household names.
Okay.
I didn't know you could sit there and sign people's paychecks and then take credit for their hard work.
What was he involved with Disney that far back?
No, because Disney wasn't involved with Disney that far
Right,
back.
exactly. Yeah.
We'll just skip down to this part. Chapek claimed Disney made the Avengers, who debuted in Marvel Comics back in 1960.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He stated, remember that all of our Avengers, for example, our Avengers characters, when we made the acquisition, weren't exactly household names. He continued, take Loki, for example. Loki was the most watched season premiere ever on Disney Plus, says them.
Again?
Like, how can you say, like...
They say it every time there's a new series out. They did the same thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Because there's no accurate way to really track that stuff beyond the Samba chips, and not everybody has the Samba
kidding
chips.
me?
So, yeah,
You can't
I
keep
heard
saying
was
that
hot
over and
garbage,
over
too.
again.
I heard it was awful. I've watched a couple reviews on it. I heard it does not look good at all. Anyway, and no one knew who Loki was. Even when we got started on this journey on Marvel, no one knew who Iron Man was, or Wanda, or Vision, or Falcon, or Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Shang-Chi. Oh, he has to drop that one, right? Nobody knew who these characters were. They certainly know them now. Now, to his credit, the success of the films has turned what was actual geek culture into the jock geek culture, where now, like, the guys who would stuff you in a locker for wearing a Captain America shirt are now wearing the Captain America shirt.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, that he picked all the people who have current shows out. Falcon, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Wanda, Vision. Yeah.
As Glinzer points out, they were household names to people who supported Marvel in the 20th century. Without those comic fans, there'd be no movie fans. Exactly, Glinzer.
Exactly.
That's why you have, like, the real geeks, and then you have the fake geeks. What these movies did was created an army of fake geeks. Disney did not acquire Marvel until 2009. The first Iron Man film that featured the end credit scene hinting at the Avengers debuted in 2008 and was distributed by Paramount Pictures. In fact, Iron Man 2, which premiered in 2010, was also distributed by Paramount Pictures. All of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1 films, aside from The Incredible Hulk and The Avengers, were distributed by Paramount Pictures. And The Incredible Hulk was Universal.
That's right.
So the first Disney distributed was The Avengers itself. So Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk, not Disney. And they made bongo dollars. Those movies were very successful. In fact, one would argue that if Iron Man 1 isn't the hit that it was,
everything would have fallen
there's
apart.
no Marvel Universe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And that's Jon Favreau, that's Robert Downey Jr., that's Jeff Bridges, that's everybody who made that first movie work so well. I remember I went to see it, and I went to $5 Tuesday. I thought, this is going to be cheesy. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I defy you to find a normal person who was a fan of Tony Stark back then. Tony who? Iron what now?
Oh, I read the comics. I liked Iron.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's the same thing that when you know, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, these characters were not household names,
right?
At the time it came out, you know, like your Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. Those were who you thought of when you thought of superheroes.
You know, and Iron Man 1 got such little press because The Dark Knight was the big draw that summer.
Yep.
You know, I remember driving around LA at the time with Christy, and my God, I mean, The Dark Knight was on every freaking billboard on the side of buildings. It was all Dark Knight. There wasn't anything Iron Man. Yeah, that's a good point. The first Spider-Man and X-Men. Well, yeah, X-Men.
Yeah.
They're entertaining, but they're not the X-Men.
Blade came out first and started everything.
I think Ghost Rider was critical to the success. Everything. That in the Ben Affleck Daredevil film.
Oh, Elektra.
Oh, there's Elektra. Yeah.
Elektra, the far superior.
Catwoman. No, that's DC. No, I'm sorry.
So as John Trent points out in this article, even if you look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was not Disney who made the characters' household names. It was Marvel and Paramount Pictures. Yes, it was.
Agreed.
Marvel Studios. I mean,
yep.
My 8-year-old daughter came up with her own little limerick. She likes to say, whenever she sees something from Disney, she always says, "Dad, random dude makes a movie. Disney comes along, hippity hoppity, your movie's now my property." She made that up on her own.
So awesome.
Like, where'd you get that? She's like, I just made it up. She goes, Disney buys everything.
Wow.
She's 8.
That's awesome. Holy cow.
I know.
So
hippity hoppity, your movie's now my property. And boy, she'd have a field day with this one because he pretty much admits that. You know, Marvel Studios does the work. We buy it, stick our sticker on it. And now we're the ones that made it what it is. No, Kevin Feige. Once the Jon Favreau kicked the thing off, and then Kevin Feige drew the roadmap for the whole thing. That's what made it work.
Exactly. But much like Apple, we invented it.
Yeah, and they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna recapture that success.
No.
Going forward, I don't know. I mean. Six wrote me today and said you should review Loki, and I'm like, I have no interest in sitting through 1 minute of Loki. I could care less, man.
I've seen enough of the reviews. I'm good.
I'm good. Nothing in Phase 4 excites me at all. Nothing. I'll go see Black Widow because I like Scarlett Johansson. I like the character, even though we know what's going to happen to her. I'll just go just to munch popcorn and watch it. I could care less about Shang-Chi. I could care less about the Eternals. The magic's gone. And I think the COOF lockdown and the delays on some of these things have kind of added to that.
Shifted, yeah.
It's shifted the interest away. There's been a big lag now from Endgame to now. And I know, I mean, some people, they're going to make a ton of money no matter what. People love that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But will they make the money they used to? No.
No, absolutely.
Will they have the rabid fan base they used to? I don't think so.
No,
a lot of the fan base is going to drop off, but you'll still have fans that like it because they're being told to like it.
Well, exactly.
Loki is amazing. Okay.
Yeah. God.
Yeah,
the reviews were amazing. It was a clip show. Are you driving and watching this, Six? Yeah, Venom's Sony, and I'm actually more interested in what Sony's going to do with that Spider-Man property, just because it's something different and doesn't look like it's Justin Normie. Hey, our guest from last week. Thanks for stopping in. I'm not watching it. I'm done after being lectured about race. I'm fracking done.
That's exactly what same thing what he just said. Yep.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Which is why the Sony Spider-Verse might be not as well put together, but it doesn't look like they're doing what Marvel's doing. So
good point.
Speaking of Disney, this is dismal. John Campea went to Disneyland in California and got ripped off, man. Did you see this?
Oh dear, no.
Oh,
you can watch him rant about it with Robert Meyer Burnett on YouTube.
That's a great still.
He's given Disney the double salute there. YouTuber John Campia recently detailed a horrific experience he had at Disneyland. Had is missing. John, missed a word right there, pal. At Disneyland, it ended up costing him $1,500.
Wow.
Campia posted his experience to Facebook where he declared, "I'll probably never go back again." Now, we've been hearing this. I don't know if you guys have watched any of like Drunk 3PO or like you've been hearing Lorena has been talking about like the customer service at Disney on the decline, and Universal right across the street is like smoking them, right? Clownfish talks about it all the time now. Campia began detailing his experience, stating that he bought a pair of park hopper tickets and a night at the Grand Californian Resort Hotel that cost him around $1,500. He specifically noted that he wanted to experience the Rise of the Resistance ride and the new Spider-Man ride at the Avengers campus. However, he did not get to experience either. He explained, now, in order to do either Resistance or Spider-Man, you have to get into a virtual queue on the day of your tickets. You can't do it in advance for some demonic, idiotic reason. So we got up in time to register on the app for the Resistance ride at 7 a.m. And right at 7 a.m., it told us it was fully booked. What?
Wow.
What?
He continued, okay, so already half of our reason for spending $1,500 was gone. Okay. Our park hopper tickets don't get us into the California Adventure Park till 1 p.m. So we attempted the 12 p.m. virtual queue opening for the Avengers ride, and you guessed it, at 12 p.m., as we tried to register a spot, it told us it was fully booked.
What the heck?
From there, he stated, so we spent $1,500 for nothing. We thought, okay, we just got extremely unlucky. We'll cancel our Disneyland tickets and reschedule them for another day. But guess what? If you want to refund or reschedule the day of your tickets, you have to do it at least 24 hours in advance. He added, we need, what's her name? Hang on. He added, that means by the time you don't get to use the attractions you went there for, you're too late to get a refund or change dates. Disneyland essentially just said to us, we've got your money now, suckers. Campia also noted, basically, you're paying Disneyland for the chance that you might be able to ride attractions that you went there for in the first place, with no hope of refund or rescheduling if you can't. It's a disgrace, and I'll never give another dollar to that racket. Good job, Disney.
Wow.
That's winning points with
that
people.
Sucks.
Wholesome family entertainment.
Why did this? Oh, wow.
They just suck. They just absolutely suck. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Disney was the happy place on earth. That's what they'll tell you that. Jacob says, I didn't like WandaVision. I don't like The Bad Batch. Don't care for Big Shot and now Loki. All that has me thinking about canceling Disney Plus. I canceled Disney Plus over Gina Carano. Karma is a bitch, says Justin Normie. It certainly is. Sven says, call your credit card and dispute the charges. That's what Campia do. Glinzer says maybe Disney will start selling non-existent art for 50.
A non-existent ride.
Great callback. Look at that.
I mean, if they're going to be like that, then you need to be able to do it in advance, like weeks in advance, so that your day is what you want. It's like you can't just throw it up.
I've had to deal with some of this. My daughter and I wanted to go to SeaWorld and San Diego Zoo back in April. And it was the same thing. You've got to like schedule an appointment. But guess what? I scheduled the appointment and bought the tickets like for that day 2 weeks prior to going. So, I bought the tickets and then I selected the morning, afternoon, whatever it would be. And the weird part was when we got there, they didn't even care like that we had the reservation. They just let us in, and we didn't have to like only do the morning, or that we stayed there all day.
Oh, okay.
It was weird. And they said limited capacity, but it looked full to me. I mean, you couldn't move at the zoo. It was ridiculous. But the point is, we were able to do it well in advance, unlike this Disney scam they got going.
That is a scam.
That's a scam. That's a scam. And he
Absolutely.
should. Well, I don't think he'll need to call the credit card company because he's a huge YouTube channel. Just saying this on his channel is going to create so much bad publicity.
Yeah, he'll probably find himself with a refund.
He's going to find himself with a free pass to come back. Full free pass. Maybe someday we'll be able to do that. No, I'm not looking for handouts. Uh-oh. We've come to that point in the show.
Oh, boy.
We got some CW news.
Oh, here we go.
CW fall premiere dates for Riverdale, The Flash, Batwhammo, All American, Walker, Nancy Drew, and more have been announced.
Jeez.
Drum roll, please. As we head toward the first day of summer, which is when? Sunday or Monday? Then it's all downhill from there, gang. That's the longest day of the year, and then it's
then it starts.
We're already there. The CW has set its plans for the fall. The network today revealed premiere dates for a couple of reimagined new series. Oh boy. And a dozen returning ones, including Riverdale, The Flash, All American, Walker. I cannot believe they're bringing The Flash back, missing half the cast, including The Flash. Including The Flash. Joining the lineup in October are new takes. Oh boy.
Did you hear that he's supposed to be showing up in the Flash movie?
Yes. I was going to put that in, but I was like, meh. Yes, Grant Gustin will be in the Flashpoint movie.
Wow, really?
Yeah. New takes at the CW are really, really new takes on Legends of the Hidden Temple and 4400, premiering at 8 p.m. October 10th and 9 p.m. October 25th, respectively.
What the?
Well, let's just skip to the important stuff, shall we? The actual release dates for this stuff. So yeah. Wednesday, October 13th, we get Legends of Tomorrow season 7. Does anybody watch that anymore?
Why?
That's still on.
I know.
And Batwhammo moves from Sunday to Wednesday, 9 to 10 p.m.
All right, and a move that could only be good.
Yes, the completely woke network, Glinzer says. Absolutely. Thursday, nothing we really care about. And then we go to Tuesday, November 16th, which is kind of a late premiere. The Flash, season 8.
It is very late.
Now, I noticed there's something conspicuously missing from here. Most notably, their most successful show right now.
Yeah, why is that missing?
Which has been greenlit for a season 2. Why is that not here?
Oh, yeah.
Where's Superman and Lois?
They're just like killing this thing.
Now, they have done Superman and Lois such an injustice because when they put it on hiatus for 6 weeks and replaced, or 7 weeks and replaced it with Supergirl, the ratings took a beating. And then they did such a shitty job advertising that it was coming back. And we're going to look at the ratings right now. It's starting to bring their numbers back. But because people didn't know it was coming back, I think it killed it. Yeah, Justin Normie says Superman and Lois is so good. It really is CW. I got to say, the Superman and Lois, and I'm way behind on it. I'm doing reviews of each episode, and I'm way behind on it. But I love it so far. It's so good. Batwhammo season 2 ratings. So, as Edson mentioned earlier, in an endorsement for Heel versus Babyface, Az has done reviews for the last 2 episodes. And the ratings have actually climbed up a skosh for the Batwhammo. The June 6th episode lost points 10% in the demographic, dropping to 0.09, but went up 24% in the overall. Very interesting. And then this week's episode,
yay!
held firm in the demo and dropped just, like a point, 1 percentage point to 425,000. But that's up from, they were down to 346,000, and I expect it to crater again. Edson, I didn't watch his review. Has Batwing shown up yet?
Yeah, that showed up in this. What is it? 16.
This one
16?
here.
Yep.
Episode 16.
And he also, Diggle's showing up in these now too as a.
Oh, Diggle, right? That's right. They put Diggle on it to get the.
So rating. I mean, yeah.
So did Diggle come back on the 15th episode?
According to his review, it was just this last one.
It was this one. Okay. I'm just curious as to why it went up 24%.
Yeah, that's a good question because I didn't hear anything good when he was doing in that one. Jeez.
Yeah.
Was that the one that they brought the character Kane back?
Oh, that was a while back. That was up here.
Oh,
somewhere.
never mind. Okay.
The last time it went way up was up in
Okay.
here.
All right. Jeez.
Looks like on the
I think it was this one
episode
here.
7.
Oh, okay.
It's either 7 or 11.
It's hilarious how he's like, all of a sudden she towers over people when she used to.
I know, right?
How did you get so big?
She ate her vegetables.
So the boost here could be that they thought Batwing and Diggle were going to because it went away for a couple weeks.
That's right.
And then it held because they realized, oh, there's no Diggle and Batwing. It's next week, so they came back to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you look at Superman and Lois, we'll look at Superman and Lois ratings here. So here's the hiatus. 7 weeks off, it came back and lost half its audience down to 718. But each week it's been building. And this week, well, it's airing tonight. And then, so last week's episode, they're back up to about 1 million. They're just under 1 million again. So you can see the slow climb. I think people are realizing, oh, these are new.
Yep. And they're good. I like the other ones.
Yeah. So, yeah. Glenzer says if maybe fans start saying how much they hate Superman and Lois, they'll guarantee it gets greenlit for another season. It already was greenlit for a season.
Yeah,
2.
I thought it was.
Yeah. I just, it's weird that they don't have a premiere date for it. But boy, I hope they don't bait and switch this show. Oh my God. I think the magic is the Kent family. It's Clark himself. It's Tyler Hoechlin's got the Clark Kent thing down. It's perfect. You know, anybody can who looks good can wear a Superman suit and punch things. It's the Clark Kent. It's got to be that.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
No. Yeah, for Superman and Lois, the great bait and switch. Justin Normie asks, are those pathetic numbers though? Well, yes and no. I mean, for the CW, the Million's a really good audience. The CW is a really low-rung cable company, cable network. Plus, I mean, more and more people are cutting the cord and getting rid of terrestrial TV. So these ratings are not reflective of people who are streaming it off their app. Yeah. You know, the CW app is where I watch it. And so there's no way to track that. So, you know, how many people are cutting the cords these days?
Tis a popular thing to do.
I cut mine in 2012. Well, it's almost a decade ago now.
Yeah.
So actually, I want to plug Culture Casino's channel real quick. He did an awesome video last week where he canceled his DirecTV. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it's awesome. It took an hour to cancel his DirecTV.
Wow.
His video is not an hour long, of course. It's time compressed, but it's awesome.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Normie says, Tyler Hoechlin, I love him as Superman. It's that jawline, baby. He's good, and it's the Clark. He's got the shucks, golly gee.
Yeah, that's
you know, the review I did of episode 3 at the end where he joins the coaching staff on the football team. You know, and he's faking like he can barely carry the water cooler out to the bus.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's like fumbling and he puts it down. He's like, look, the coach gave me a jacket and I bought the hat. You know, like the fact that like he paid for the hat, you know, just he's got it down. And I like Elizabeth Tulloch as Lois. I think she's got the Margot Kidder style Lois Lane now. So, Pete, have you seen it yet?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I have liked whatever I've seen.
I think you'll love it. I think you'll absolutely love it. It feels like Richard Donner has his hands in it somehow, even though Richard Donner's like so old now. I think he has trouble peeing, but I know. Oh, is it back on HBO Max? I know that it was there.
Then I'll have to check it out there.
Yeah, it is on HBO Max.
It's back up again. Justin Normie says, yeah, his acting as Superman and Clark has sold me. I think he's better than Cavill. I think Henry Cavill looks better. And I like Henry Cavill's Superman better. But I love Tyler Hoechlin's Clark Kent. And that's through no fault of Henry Cavill. They're just doing a different take. Zack Snyder's got a darker, brooding Clark who's full of self-doubt. He's not sure like where he stands in things. Where this is traditional Superman. This show is traditional Superman. And he plays that farm boy, the all-American farm boy, Clark Kent, perfectly. perfectly.
I agree with Gunther. I in the back of my mind, it's like I like it, and I want to really like it, but it's always there's this thing in the back. It's like, what are they going to sabotage this and just going to pull out the rug from under? I keep thinking about that.
Even if they do, at least we'll have probably a full season of good Superman.
Yeah.
Justin always says, I don't know, bro. I love Cavill, but Tyler is really. I agree with you. I think, Normie, I think we're on the same page that Christopher Reeve is our Superman. Like he's the definitive Superman on screen for me. And this guy is about as close as you can get, the portrayal of it. So, yeah, it's and that's why I love it so much. I love the Christopher Reeve movies, even the shitty ones, because you know why? I love to watch him play Clark Kent.
Right.
I'll watch him play Clark Kent till the cows.
He nailed it.
He nailed it. And it was so awesome when Richard Donner released the Donner cut, because I got a fifth movie. There's so much new stuff in there. It's almost like finding a fifth Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Just it's you know, yeah, okay, I'm showing my age, boomer. But but yeah, it's that's my Superman. That's my Superman. And I feel like Kevin Smith, but when I watch the 1978 Superman, I get glassy eyed. I get goosebumps. And a lot of it's because of what happened to that guy, who seemed like genuinely one of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And how his life turned out was just awful. And yeah, it's Glinzer says, you love this line, Pete. General Zod, would you care to step outside?
This is the one mistake I think the Donner cut makes.
Correct.
They changed this line.
Yep.
Haven't you ever heard of freedom of the press, man? No. This line.
Yeah.
No, this
Lindsay,
this
I
line.
went to see this. I saw this movie almost as much as Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater. I think I saw Superman 2 in the theater 10, 11 times.
Yeah,
loved it. Normie says it's his demeanor, his body, his facial features, the way he acts is just spot on when I think of my Superman. I agree. I agree. And I love too how because he's got the two boys and he thinks he's doing right by them, but he keeps screwing up. And he can't win, and he can't process that.
I mean, you're right, but he's put in a situation where he can't win, and
exactly
doing his best, but there is no solution. But that
There's
really
no solution.
gets to him because there is no. He feels like he should be able to do it. Somebody.
Right. That's because he's used to winning all the time, right? Everything he does turns out like
it's amazing.
Roses, right? Yeah. But the one place he fails is with his two boys. And it's great. And I love the two kids. I thought they were going to really make the show a drag. I went in, I'll admit it. I went in pessimistic. I was like, I don't know about these two kids. And I knew that Jordan, the awkward one, would get the powers.
Right. I mean, it made sense. But I was same with you. I went in and was like, having the whole family.
They're so good and they feel real. Like, especially Jonathan, who's nothing's gone right since they've gotten to Smallville 4, right? He was the star of the football team. He had a girlfriend, and he gets to Smallville, and nothing's working out for him. And he internalizes it, and sometimes he gets upset when Jordan starts boo-boo kittying and feeling self-pity, and he'll get on Jordan for that. But at the end of the day, they love and support each other.
Yeah.
And it's rare now in today's climate of entertainment to see an actual family functioning like an actual family. You don't see this anymore because, as we know, part of this whole woke thing is to dismantle the family, right? Dismantle the family unit.
Yep.
So yeah, Glinzer agrees with you, Pete. The freedom of the press line in the Donner cut sucked.
That's the one misstep.
Yep, because it's true. The people used to go nuts in the theater when he'd show up.
Want to step outside?
Last time you see him, he finds the crystal in the Fortress of Solitude. You don't see anything after that, and then he shows. Right. Yeah. Normie says, I thought the boys would become annoying, but they are really good on camera.
I totally agree with that. That's what I thought too.
They are. Normie says, I love this twist of Superman. I do too. Normie agrees with me. Oh, thank you. And let's see. Family dynamic is great. the kids both support and love each other. It's great. You can feel it through the screen. You really can feel it, and it feels organic. It doesn't feel forced or it's so. The drama situations are so CW, but they don't play out CW. They play out more mature and more advanced than CW. So yeah, the production values are so high too, Pete.
Yeah, I think you said that HBO Max has some financial investments on it.
Well, if it's on HBO Max, then they clearly have put some money behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I keep beating this horse to death in my reviews so far early on, but the cinematography in this thing is very theatrical, where they're using different color palettes for different scenes. Like when the family's together and there's warmth, it's a very orangey, really highly saturated. And then like you get to Lana Lang's family, who's going through all this dysfunction. It's blue and icy and desaturated, which, you know, and those are things you don't get on the CW. You don't get that in Batwoman or The Flash, or they just
because all those shows are all flatly lit because they have to crank them out.
Right. So this has got a much higher production value. So immediately it like jumps out that this doesn't belong on this network. So yeah. Normie says the kids come across so well. They do. Yep. They're fantastic. The show is, and I think it's going to be this way for a while because the showrunner. We did the article last week. The showrunner gets it. The showrunner totally understands who Superman is and who Clark Kent is, and that's why I think it's in safe hands if they remove him, or put him on a different show, and Berlanti takes over, then we're fucked.
Right.
Then we'll be fucked. But yeah, Pete, if you get a chance, I would.
Well, if it's on HBO Max, I'll start checking it out there.
Yep. Well, I had this for Jude. I don't know if he's in this chat or not, but. You know, we like to wind it down with toys and some Star Wars toys coming out.
Oh boy.
Yeah. More Brack series, Rogue One, Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper, Return of the Jedi Bib Fortuna.
Very nice.
Migs Mayfield in Tank Trooper disguise.
Oh, it's from The Mandalorian. Okay.
Yep. Mando Fennec Shand, who Edson likes Fennec. I like Fennec.
Yes.
Mandalorian Nomad Boba Fett and Mandalorian Cobb Vanth. So let's blow this picture up so you can see him.
Oh.
So there they are. I might get Mayfield to get Bill Burr. Look at the. Oh, these are actual photos. I'm gonna say that's.
I was like,
wow, it looks just like him.
I know. I was gonna say shit, but yeah, they're just photos. Nomad Boba Fett. I mean, he's just in a cloak, man. Like,
I know.
It's got the name Boba Fett in it. Therefore, fans are gonna wet themselves and buy it.
Yeah, and then of course, my guy from Justified here, Timothy Olyphant.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
that was good.
So, and I always like Bib Fortuna. I like to buy some of, like I bought the Jar Jar Binks Black Series figure, not because I love that insufferable coont, but because he's just kind of cool looking, and the figure's awesome. Like it looks really, the sculpt is awesome. I might buy like Bib Fortuna just because he's a cool looking character. Kind of stupid. He's just an errand boy for Jabba, you know?
Yeah. Wish they do Salacious Crumb.
They might have.
I'm sure that probably came with Jabba.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, some of these look pretty cool. It depends, like Fennec too. Like she just wears like a tunic. Like if they got to do something cool with it. Otherwise, it'll just be a character in a tunic, you know? So. But I'll probably definitely get Mayfield for sure. And I might buy Timothy Olyphant. Those were the two I'd be looking at. Maybe Bib Fortuna. Depends on if, you know, how good the old wallet's doing when they get released.
Yeah, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what's funny about these Black Series, they're like $19, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the little 3-inch ones are like 15. So what's the point of buying the 3-inch one? You might as well just perform the nice ones. So yeah, Bib Fortuna is awesome and different. I concur. Brie Larson should play the new Bib Fortuna. Yes. Yes. I think Brie Larson should play the Sarlacc. Prime Studios unveils Wonder Woman TV series statue.
Very nice.
This is awesome. Remember the Christopher Reeve, which I'm still debating. Like, I can't afford it, but I'm like, my God. a 2-foot tall Christopher Reeve likeness, and I mean, that's a once in a lifetime. I mean, once it's gone, and then you have to buy it.
Yeah, the secondary market is just going to be
Secondary
murder.
market, it'll cost like $2,000 or more.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a payment plan, and I'm like, do I need another bill for 4 months? Anyway, we can look.
Holy
at
crap!
Look at this.
Yeah, that's.
Look at this. This one's double the price of Christopher Reeve.
Holy shit!
Oh my gosh.
She stands 27 inches tall on a
Oh my god
backdrop. This is unfreaking believable. Look at this.
Oh my god.
That's
now Robert Meyer Burnett will definitely buy this, which means
amazing.
we need to all go to his house and look at it. Yeah. Look at that. That's
unbelievable.
Isn't that great? Here's a shot that shows you how tall. That is beautiful. That is unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. And it's got a cape you can put on it. Check that out. Whew. Man.
That is unbelievable.
Good likeness.
It's amazing. It's just stunning. Look at the face. It looks like a photograph of her.
It does.
And I like the look at the star on her headdress there.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like what they did in the 70s. They just put like a cloth, they like glued it on,
Yep.
The detail that they got it. It's just amazing. Wow. That is crazy. That is nuts. But for $1,300, it better be nuts.
Yeah, it can't be. It's like, well, that's kind of close.
Jacob,
I suppose it could look like.
Jacob Barton wants one. We all want one. That's Linda Carter. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Linda says, sorry, Gal Gadot, you're in second place. Ooh, I don't know.
I know.
Gadot, my gosh, she is. That is sideshow. Yeah, Linda's right. It is sideshow quality. That is unbelievable. Just stunning. So I got one last thing, but you know what? Actually, before we do the last thing, I'm going to find the Christopher Reeve one again. Hang on.
Wonder if they take Bitcoin for that.
Do you have Bitcoin, Edson?
Some.
I wish I jumped on that Dogecoin when it was like paying.
Well, yeah, that was like.
It's like down. It's like $1 for $1 now. It's like I knew that was going to happen.
Well, it did come significantly down, like everything else.
That's what I mean. It's like $1 for $1 now. It's like you can't really cash it in for much anymore.
Right.
Let's see. View all. Superman. Where's Superman? Superman. Where is it? Oh, I'll never find it in this list. Let me just do this. Oh, wait. I'm a horrible typist. Is this it? Yeah, that's crappy though. Hang on. Find a better one here. All right. That's got an article about it. Here we go. No, that's not the right one. God damn it. Here it is. This one. Nope. Why can't I find that one? This is weird. I can't find it. You know the one I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Where the hell is it? We do an image search.
This it, Keith?
You sharing your screen? Oh, private chat. Let's see.
This way you can say yes or no.
Yeah, that's the one. How did you find it so easily?
Christopher Reeve Superman statue.
That's what I was Googling, and I couldn't fucking find it. All right, there it is. Yeah, this is again. Look at this.
Oh,
This is
God.
awesome, man.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
And the cape is posable, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it's fabric.
Oh, okay.
It's got like the wires in the.
Ah.
That's great, and it's cloth costume. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. It's half the price of Wonder Woman, and it's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 payments. 6 plus the down payment. It's so tempting. It's awesome.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome. Gal is fracking hot, and she was an Israeli soldier. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It makes her even hotter. All right, last thing I got, and
Okay.
I think Stacy's gonna end up buying all these. Bunch of Steve Ditko Spider-Man artwork.
Oh,
It's being auctioned. So here we are. That's later this week. What's today's the 15th?
It is indeed the 15th.
So 17th and 19th, Comics and Comic Art Signature Auction, Heritage Auction. So they've got original Ditko art.
wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we got Jameson and Betty. We got a Craven the Hunter page here.
Wow.
This one will go for mad money.
Hmm.
Craven and Spider-Man. Look at that. That is great.
Very cool.
Isn't that awesome? And this one here.
Is that the Creeper?
Might be. I was just trying to figure out who is that. Without the colors, it's kind of, yeah, I think it is the Creeper.
But isn't. Oh, yeah, but Creeper's DC.
Oh. Who's this guy? Is that Doctor Strange?
I don't know. My only experience with the Creeper is that one episode in Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah, it's Creeper. You're right. Original DC art. You're right, Pete.
Oh.
You were right. And then it looks like we got a Captain Adam Charlton.
Oh, very nice.
Yep, one of his Charlton. Boy, I wonder if I could get that one, use it for our documentary. But let's see. Probably going to cost a little too much. Oh, John Byrne inked it. That's from the Bullseye, the fanzine. So the Charlton Bullseye fanzine, Charlton used to give Bob Layton, John Byrne, Roger Stern, a bunch of these guys. Roger was a writer, but they'd give him the access to the characters, and they'd give him unprinted or unfinished old stories that never, they'd give him a Captain Adam Ditko, and John Byrne would ink it, or Bob Layton would ink it, and then they'd put it in the fanzine.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it's very, very cool. And then there's this one. Ditko, Steve Lalo, and Bob Wycheck, Coyote number 8 from Marvel. I love Ditko's art because there was a certain creepy quality to it.
Yeah.
The way the fingers would look, and the hands, and just loved his art. It was so different from most of his contemporaries at the time. So yeah, I'm guessing this Craven page will get the most money.
Yeah.
Very likely.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah, no one today. Normie says no one today can do that kind of art. That's for sure. Is that the Son of Satan character?
Oh wait, they look a little bit like that.
It did. It's too bad there's no. He did the question for Charlton. I would have loved to get a Ditko question. But I have a T-shirt with Ditko's the question, his Charlton.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I can't find it though. I was gonna wear it last week. I'm like, where the fuck is my Charlton shirt? God, I'm losing all my old T-shirts. So that's it. Recommendations. We'll go. Let's start at the bottom. There's a bug in here. Start with you, Edson.
It's amazing you said earlier that when we were talking about comics, how American weren't doing very well, and you said you were down to 2 Marvel titles, right?
Yeah.
And I was down to like no Marvel titles, and then I saw this miniseries come out. It's and I'm hoping that they'll continue doing stuff like this. It's like a what if type thing, but it's not called What If. It's just called some new. It's like this was a Spider-Man. It's called Spider-Man Spider Shadow.
I read it.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was good.
My recommendation.
And it is a what if. If you look at the top.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It says what if. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they'll start doing more of this stuff. And it was ironic that it was that type of story that is the only thing I'd like from Marvel right now. One that's not even part of their regular.
Right.
I just love that. That was Venom takes over and he kind of likes him and then he starts killing people. I love that part when Jonah teams up with the Sinister Six and stuff like that. That was great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then, before that, Peter goes in and is fed up with Jonah. He, like, breaks his arm and stuff like. It's like, oh my gosh! It's like this is a totally radical story.
It's set back in the 80s, around the time when he came back from Secret Wars with the new suit, and he didn't know it was what it was. He even goes after Reed Richards when Reed tries to get away from him. I guess there's going to be 4 issues in this current arc of the What If. They're not just doing one-off What Ifs. They're doing
okay. I thought this one was going to.
Oh, that's very cool.
And then they're going to do another character, and
right.
You're right. I think this might be one of the few Marvel titles that's actually good.
I hope they continue doing that.
Yeah. And what helps this one, Edson, is that it is set back then, so they have to use the lore from back then. They can't alter it. It has to be, they said it in that time.
I was just thinking the same
whatever
thing.
Roger Stern was writing back then, that's what they got to use. Yeah.
Yep. And the fact that it's like, what if that's a different, it's a different take. Hopefully that'll give the creative team the leash to do something that's not what they want to be mainstream, which is what I want to watch, what I want to see or read.
Put some juice back in their comics.
Yeah.
Maybe ideas at the House of Ideas.
Maybe they'll see that this, if it becomes popular, maybe they'll see, maybe we ought to do some more of that. But anyways, that's what my recommendation is.
Good recommendation.
I thought it was 5 issues, or is it 4 or 5?
It might be 5. It's gonna.
I don't think it's out yet, completely out. I think the last one I read was
issue
4.
2 is out now, I think.
Oh, okay, 2.
But I'm way behind. I have to get.
Oh, okay. I read the 3rd issue.
The 3rd. I only read the first one. My comic shop guy reached out to me today. And he's like, "Dude, are you dead? You gotta come in and get your profile."
Yeah. Anyway,
Glinzer says retcon, the worst word in comic books today.
Indeed.
Yeah. Pete, what do you got for us?
I have a sequel to 2001. The Critical Drinker recommended this, and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. 2010, the year we make contact, kind of takes a shot at trying to answer some of the questions from 2001. Doesn't answer all of them, which is great, and it's a really solid sci-fi movie.
I agree with you.
The Blu-ray transfer it could be better, but I mean, you're not going to get any better. So, I mean, I recommend this either on DVD, so at least the print will be consistent, or you can put up with some of the issues on Blu-ray. But yeah, this is a real solid sci-fi movie.
I agree, and it's got one of my favorite actors of all time in it, Roy Scheider.
Helen Mirren, Bob Balaban is in this.
Bob Balaban, yeah.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
That's right, Lithgow, a young John Lithgow.
Yeah, this is and Hal has got an incredible arc in this movie. So this is a good.
Yeah, we shouldn't say what Hal does.
No, but Hal does have a really good arc, considering where he went in the first one. He goes someplace even better in this one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I saw that video by Critical Drinker. I immediately thought, I gotta go watch that again.
Yeah, this is a great movie, and the visuals by ILM. It takes space flight a lot more realistically because we had actually done it by the time this movie came out in '84, I think.
84. Yep.
84,
it was up Dune. That was the year it was Dune versus 2010.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is.
The only flaw I think it has is that they use sound effects in outer space. Where in 2001 there's no sound in space. And
they aren't like overpowered in Star Wars or Star Trek, but yeah, they are there. But I mean, it's by that point, people were expecting sound effects in outer space.
You
so
couldn't do what Kubrick did. You couldn't do that this time.
No,
you'd lose your audience in 1984 if you did what Kubrick did. But
but yeah,
I miss the 80s Glinzer. I really do.
Yeah,
find it.
Yeah,
find it on Amazon. Pick it up.
Yep.
You'd be glad you did.
You guys were children of the 80s like we were. It's unrivaled. It was the best decade. This came up the other night. We went to a baseball game, and my friend Debbie was saying the same thing. She's like, I wish I could just go relive the 80s and get stuck there. Just stay there forever. It was such a great time. It really was a great time to be a young person, you know?
Yep.
Mostly because of what happened with Star Wars, Industrial Light and Magic, was that they brought their A game. The the auteurs and the films that were coming out and the genre stuff was just. Good night, Normie. Thanks for stopping by. I will bring this up. You know what? I'll just make it my recommendation. I was going to recommend something else. I'll save it for next time. I'm going to quickly find it, though. Give me a second and a half. I think you guys will really like this. I don't know if you've even heard about it. Mark Altman. Hang on. Oh, sure. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. For those of you who are big fans of the 80s or who grew up in the 80s, who saw all these great films in their first run, Mark A. Altman is teaming up with, name escapes me right now. Oh, God. He does all the DVD, the Blu-ray stuff for Star Trek, all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the bonus features. Roger Lay. And they're making a documentary called 1982 Greatest Geek Year Ever.
Wow.
They're going to release it next year.
Oh, very cool.
For the 40th anniversary of 1982. So they're looking for 125 grand. They're up to almost 17. They have half the month to go. I wish they went on Indiegogo because then they could get whatever they raise. If they don't raise the money, it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's what Jackie and I did. We used Indiegogo for the Charlton project. We raised a substantial amount the first time, but we didn't come close to our goal. But at least we had money to use to seed the thing. So yeah, I mean they're gonna go over the whole thing. I mean, you look at the films that came out that year. You had Blade Runner, E.T., Star Trek II, The Thing, Conan, Road Warrior, Tron, Poltergeist, Dark Crystal.
Wow.
Yeah, many, many more. Like it was such a great year in film. Really was. Creep Show. I mean, God, it just goes on and on. Yeah, just great stuff. King of Comedy. I'm waiting for clients to actually pay me for the work I do, and then I will pitch into this thing. But yeah, it's this looks like a fun show, and I hope they get to produce it. So my recommendation: help get 1982 Greatest Geek Year Ever produced. Be fun. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Zach asks, where are we with your comic doc? Yeah. It's an interesting question. It's pretty much shot. There's a few more people we needed to interview. We had them scheduled right when the coup hit. Kevin Smith's supposed to be in it too, but I don't know. He's elusive. But we're basically at the post-production stage, but we're almost out of money. We have barely enough money in the bank to pay business fees with. So the plan was to do another crowdfunding campaign and to also go to local businesses and start selling ad spots. To actually give them product placement somehow in a segment. And that was what we figure out after the fact. Just give us your money. We'll figure it out later. So there's a lot of stuff done. We've cut a couple of trailers. I actually want to tweak some of the trailers because we cut them early on to use for our crowdfunding campaigns. And then we've since added people like John Byrne and Roy Thomas. And so there's a lot of people in the Roger Stern. There's people that aren't in the trailer that we have subsequently interviewed. So But it's great. It's a great project. It's a great story, and basically the Hall of Fame comic creators from the Silver Age and the Bronze Age of comics are in this thing. Denny O'Neil, Joe Sinnott.
Some people, it's their final interviews.
A lot of them, yeah, a lot of them have passed away since. So we got the last interview with Joe Sinnott, the last interview with Denny O'Neil, last interview with George Wildman, last interview with Nick Cuddy. It looks like
the fellow that drew Popeye died like a week afterwards.
George Wildman died 3 weeks after we interviewed him. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's yeah, I'm gonna. My plan was to. I was just thinking about it today, as a matter of fact, to go and kind of find some places where I can pull like there's 3 sound bites from Bob Layton. I can pull Bob Layton out and put a Roy Thomas in there or something, just to get all the faces in there. But it's pretty awesome. And I want to get it done because it's an amazing story. And my producing partner Jackie has done the most incredible job researching this. She's now the world's foremost authority on Charlton comics. Hands down. John B. Cook is hounding her to help him now because she knows so much stuff. She went down to the Library of Congress and dug through the microfilms. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. Anything you find on the internet aside from what we post is pretty much bullshit about Charlton. We found that on pretty early. We thought like we were pulling the info and we were going the wrong way. And as she started digging deeper and finding actual facts, she's like, all this stuff on the internet is totally wrong. It's bullshit.
How about that? The internet's wrong.
But what makes the thing difficult is the fact that John Santangelo, the guy who ran the company, was nefarious, we'll put it that way, and did a good job of like covering up the history of that place like nobody's business. There's no photographs. It's really hard to find stuff. And what's the funniest part is when we first were into it, we went to the Derby Historical Society. The building was in Derby, Connecticut. And we pulled out the History of Derby book published by John Santangelo at Charlton Press. Not a single photograph of Charlton in there. The biggest business in that town. This was a 7-acre shop. It was huge. Like Wildman said, he had to remember he had a tricycle because it was too far to walk. He'd have to ride the bike around to get to one.
That's right. That's right.
And there's no mention of it at all. Published at that building. So it's weird. And then we went to the library and the librarian's like, those people were into some shady stuff. And I'm like, I know. But yeah, I mean, Bob Layton's in there and Paul Kupperberg and God, it goes on and on. The people that are in there. It's Joe Staten. Man, yeah, it's a crazy project. It's fun. And selfishly, I got to make friends with guys I grew up reading. And that was cool. Well, and your phone rings and it says Denny O'Neil on it. That's fucking cool, right? Yeah. When Denny O'Neil's calling you at home. That's a lot of fun. So, yeah, maybe we should combine this. Like, I'll find a way to bring Jackie and we'll do a Charlton movie thing or something.
Yeah, she should definitely come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Thank you for asking, Zax. Yeah, it's at charltonmovie.com. The website's horribly outdated.
You have a website? You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan. We have a website and a YouTube channel for it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there you go. Not
again,
a fan. Not a fan.
We haven't worked on it since pretty much 2019. Although we did have recently an intern crafted a scene. She rough cut a scene, and I went through and kind of polished it up. I still want to do another pass, and then Pete, you're going to start animating, right? So
that's right.
We're going to put out
some ideas,
scene, like a full 10-minute polished scene, and we're going to use that to try to generate more money because other documentary producers are like, these trailers are good, but they're just trailers. People are going to want to see an actual, they want to see what it's really going to look like. What's if they're going to give you finishing funds, because to finish it, we got to pay people. We've gotten by on pizza and stuff like that, but not for post. We have to pay people. This thing has to be done the right way. because I was shooting it. All we needed was some help with lights and audio and stuff. But yeah, the post is going to be, pretty cumbersome. And I don't want to edit something that I've produced and shot. I want fresh eyeballs. And I've hired the editor. Brian, Brian Capri, right, Pete?
No, I don't.
Oh, he cuts a lot of features and stuff.
Oh.
And he'll do it for a good rate, but we have to pay him.
Sure.
Of course.
So, yeah, Brian's a great editor, and I'm excited to work with him. But yeah, we're hoping. When the project started, I said 5 years, 5 to 7. So we're in the 5th year now. So, and we lost a year to the COOF. So it's frustrating. And in typical Charlton fashion, we had a third producer, Dennis Peters, in LA, who had the whole back part. Like, he told us, get to where we are, and he'll get the money and finish it. And Andy had a distribution map all set. And then he fucking died.
Jeez.
Yeah, he died 3 months into the production. So we still haven't replaced him. So yeah. Anywho, so boy, that went off on a tangent.
Yeah.
We'll find a way to get the Charlton thing, and maybe when I recut the trailer, I'll make it like a commercial at the front of the show or something, or at the end. So anyway, all right. Let me do the housekeeping. Where? Oh my God, I have too many. I got to clean this thing up. We've put so much stuff in here. I can't find anything. Here we are. You can find us on the social network. Good movie, by the way. The Twitter, FaceTime, and Instagram at GeekTime.net. No, we don't have a website anymore. And you can email us at geektimenet@gmail.com.
We can be fans again.
We can be fans again. I got rid of
Nice.
I mean, the website's still there, but it's still like Wix free. I was like, I'm not paying for the pro subscription. Like, nobody goes to this website. So,
but it's still good to have as a placeholder anyway, just in case.
I'm keeping the URL, but
right.
Okay.
Like Wix to have pro Wix, just to point a URL at it and have some pro features is like $300 a year. I'm like, why?
What's the word I'm looking for?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just said no, refund me. I'll use the free long stupid. It's like now it's like wix.free.geektime. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody goes there. Websites are so 2000. All right. So that's that. I think we have one last thing to do, and that's usually your job, Pete.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
I can't help wondering about the friend I leave behind. There are always possibilities, Spock said. I must return to this place again.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is it?